We waiting on Janine, but we gonna start the show.
They so bogus, they so bogus. We serve notice that there's evictions coming. You've been afflicted with a sickness, ain't no sense in running. Stand and face your judgment. Fuck you in your budget. You can hate it, but you gotta love it. Golden nuggets now, pass the chicken. Finger licking, counting money till they stop the printing. Even if they stop the printing, you see my spot cemented like a city block cemented. Yeah, my soul is minted, yours counterfeited. I'm way more committed, forever counterculture.
We trying to do a lot of different things here. We got hacked on our Zoom 2 weeks ago. It was like blah, 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 and I don't want to tell y'all what came after that. I was like, they hacked me, and they were Russians.
The Russians got us.
The Russians got us.
And once again, you are now tuned into the Can't Be Silenced podcast with Maria Davis, the host with the most. I'm Rock Logic. And it's going down. Giving y'all some time to get into the chat room. Giving y'all some time to get into the YouTube vibe, because we're on YouTube Live right now. Giving y'all time to get in the room so y'all can share. Want you to pop into the room. Please don't troll me, man. Don't troll. Say hello. Just be like, hey, hi Maria, hey Rock, hey Janine. Let us know that you're there. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's 53 degrees in New York City, and it's sunny outside.
How much? 63.
53.
Oh, 53? It
Yeah, it's 53.
A little warmer than that.
Yeah, but it was nice. You know what I'm saying? It was nice weather. Big shout out to Research and Service High School out in Brooklyn. They started their podcast today, so that was dope. They had their first day of podcast, and we were there to execute that.
You built the equipment on there, right?
I did. I actually built the room. So now it's starting to come to fruition. We're getting little broadcasters.
Oh, I like that.
Little broadcasters all over the city. So
that's Lays too. That's OSG.
Yeah, that's OSG, Off School Grounds. That's my man Lazy Lays from MOP, Dennis McKeezy. We do that. And bang.
Dennis McKeezy.
Yeah, that's his name. His name is Dennis McKeezy.
I told Lays, I'm tired of hearing Dennis McKeezy. Yeah. Dennis McKeezy all the love.
It's Breezy McKeezy, baby. It's
Breezy McKeezy.
And his name really is McKeezy, by the way. I thought it was like a nickname.
And his wife has an incredible story. I was listening to it the other day.
Yeah.
When I was on their podcast, OSG.
Yeah, she's something.
A chair is not a chair.
So, Deneen, how's it going for you this week?
There's no one sitting there.
So, Deneen, how'd it go? How was your week, Deneen?
A chair is not a chair if Deneen is not sitting there. We feel so all alone. Oh. Deneen, hurry up and come to the podcast home.
There you go. We're going to sing that at Mad Wednesdays. We're going to do that at Mad Wednesdays.
So I have a lot of exciting stuff. But wait, we got all our people in the room. I can't be late with Shayla. I want Shayla to talk bad about me.
Yeah, she talk bad about you on the radio. Maria was late. The Can't Be Silenced podcast was late.
How you gonna have a podcast called Can't Be Silenced and you ain't on time?
And you silent. What's going on?
Where's Shayla?
Shayla Scott is there. Allison's there. Carla Lee's in the house. Deidre Fisher's in the house. And we have iPhone 917.
Carla's in the house. That's my Clubhouse sister.
And Myrna is in the house. So that's what you got.
Hey, Myrna.
Yep, so that's what's happening.
Okay, more people gonna be coming on. They slow. Lord have mercy. Why your people slow?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Maria.
You're welcome, Carla.
Hey, big shout out to Carla.
She has an incredible artist that we're trying to get here to New York.
Okay. By the way, when's the next? Oh, there goes Myrna. Myrna popped up on the screen.
Hi, Myrna. That's my long time. We went to junior high school together. Myrna DeMutt.
Yes, it is.
And her two lovely children.
Oh, junior high school.
Junior high school, Taft. Okay. We went to Taft together.
Oh, wow. Okay, all right.
Wait, I think Shayla. Where'd Shayla go? Did Shayla go to King? Shayla, where you went to school?
I went to King, baby.
Oh, that's Lord. Right. Oh, Lord.
She said, "Let it be known, I went to King, baby."
Gotta get a roughneck.
Oh man.
Allison, what school you went to? Allison from there too. I know she's from Long Island, but also
I'm not from Long Island, Maria. I'm from Harlem.
Oh, excuse me.
She's like, correction. Big shout out to Allison.
Well, what school did you go to in Harlem, Allison Williams?
Well, we started out at All Saints Elementary on 129th Street and 30th Street in Madison. Then we went up to the Bronx to Sacred Heart of Mary. Then we went to Marymount. Then we went to City.
You went to Catholic school, Allison?
All my entire life.
Oh Lord!
All the way from first grade through college.
Wait a minute. Did you train the Saints? Because I know they ain't train you.
Oh no, I was quite a good Catholic school girl.
Yeah, okay. We'll
just
ask your
went-
teachers that.
Right, we just went wild when we got to the cellar restaurant, right?
I was like, people always say, "Oh, Catholic school, they're the worst," but I really wasn't. I was really cool, and I got through it. I was more of a victim than one of those, the rebel rouser. So I was just trying to stay safe and get back and forth.
Alley Cat, you were a victim? Oh no, we have to hold all this. No,
major bullying and a whole bunch of craziness like that. But
they bully. I know they ain't bully Shayla. Shayla,
No. We went to PS200.
Oh Lord, she said we went to PS200. She said that with authority. We went to PS200.
And we dealt with people.
And the dime, baby.
Recording in progress.
Got it.
Okay, so I hate to start, but I am going to start.
Yeah, no. She'll be here.
Yeah, we can start off slow.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
So I want to talk about my weekend. I went this weekend to see my cousin get married. He's 28 years old, Sheridan. Shout out to Sheridan and his lovely wife, Sydney, in Richmond, Virginia. And then from there, I went to, I left the wedding.
You have your clubhouse on?
Oh, I sure do.
Because that's what's the feeding back.
Oh, that's the feedback.
It's the clubhouse, yeah.
It's the clubhouse feedback?
Yep.
Okay. So
There you go. We're great.
not feeding back no more.
Cool.
Oh, we got some clubhouse people in the room.
Yep,
Yes.
I'm working it.
So, and then I went to our people, Black Tie Familia.
Okay.
So I have 2 cigars for you. I tried to sell them
Oh, over the weekend.
over the weekend.
Oh, we got some smokies. Yay.
Well, I tried to call you to show you his refrigerator full of cigars and his,
Right.
what is it called?
A humidor.
A humidor.
Humidor.
Yeah, humidor. Yeah.
And he has an actual bar. He has a whole separate building, which is a bar and a meeting room.
Wow.
And
that's
then
good.
after that, I went to his in-laws' house, and his son and his daughter was celebrating. His son and his daughter-in-law was celebrating their baby's first birthday. She had 3 parties
Oh, wow.
for a first birthday.
The baby had 3 parties.
3 parties. So
Year
the
one.
first party was the cook, the food at the house, and they from Vietnam. They're Vietnamese.
Okay.
And then the second party was on Sunday, which was at a carnival in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
They live in Colonial. And then they had a big party at the mother-in-law's bar and beauty in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
And there they had a Vietnamese band, and the party continued.
Okay. Yeah, but that sounds about right though, because I know in Indian cultures, right? They get married for like 7 days. You know what I'm saying? Like they start out.
My mother never gave me a baby party for 3 days.
Yeah, they
A 3-day event.
Yeah, they get married for like 3 days. Nigerians do the same thing. So I can see that a Vietnamese baby, right, first birthday party would be crazy like that, I guess.
But wait a minute, the crazy part was, how about I was in their house, they made pho? Is that what you call it? It's pho? It's like a soup, and they put all these different meats and stuff in it?
Oh yeah.
How you say it, pho?
Pho.
Oh, pho.
F-O.
And so the mother-in-law made the pho, and everybody was raving about it. She had the oxtail in the pho and all kind of stuff, but I had the pho without meat.
So it's technically a Vietnamese taco.
Yeah, no.
No?
It's a soup.
Oh. Okay.
And then you put fresh basil. They had me eating trees. They had trees all over the table.
Trees.
Okay. Basil trees. And then they had cilantro in the plate. And so I was good. I was trying to be traditional.
Right.
Then they busted out. So all of a sudden, the big 65-inch screen had karaoke on it. And they was all singing karaoke. And I was like, Lord have mercy. I mean, it was so hilarious.
Yeah.
And Vietnamese, to me, they like gangsters. They kind of like African Americans.
Yeah, well, they're the blacks of the Asian.
And they're from New Orleans.
Yeah. They're the blacks of the Asian vibe. Like them in Thai and Cambodia. They're the darkest skinned Asians.
Oh, man, they let me tell you something. They pulled out the beer. They was like, come on, Maria, come on.
You gonna put on some headphones, ma'am?
Yes. So
Deneen, I was singing to your chair.
I heard.
I was like, a chair is not a chair. I did my debut.
And big shout out to Deneen Womack in the house.
Yes. Deneen, you have new hair. Is,
It's my same hair from last week.
It's a good hair.
It's reusable.
you use reusable hair? They have that?
Yeah. They also have the
It's the headband. It's connected to the band.
Oh, the hair is connected to the band. That's like my other.
Oh, that's like a whole thing. Oh, I thought the band was like, oh, I didn't. So the band is part of the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
How dare you call our hair things?
No, but I didn't want to say it was, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think we wanted to say what it actually was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it's connected to the thing.
So you call it a thing?
It's connected to the thing. I'm just, wow, that's crazy.
It's a headband wig.
It's a situation.
That it is. It is a situation.
I hear that.
So wait a minute. Do you if you want to wash it, do you wash it with the band too?
I don't know.
We haven't gotten there
I
yet.
read the instructions.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there
Your
yet.
hair came with instructions too?
That
Oh
is-
Lord.
That is dope. That's
Shayla.
it's like kind of like a hat, really. That's hot.
A hat with a band.
That's hot, man. That's hot.
Lord have mercy.
So go ahead.
I'm trying to just work my stuff.
That's the band. That's a big.
It's a big, baby.
It's a band wig. It's a big.
Situation.
All right. So let's get with our show. We on
All right.
Facebook Live.
Yep.
Please like and share.
You
We
have
on
to
the
make it public.
Clubhouse.
You have to make the Facebook public.
I did.
Just private?
They can't get in.
What? See what's up with that. Let me just manage this clubhouse room real quick while we're doing that.
The Clubhouse is public.
No, the Facebook Live.
The Facebook Live. You know what? I'm tired. Can somebody start a black Facebook?
Black Book.
Listen, I'm done with Facebook, so
Don't we have a black one? It's called
Black Book.
no.
Just kidding.
It's called the one Quincy Jones. Wait, whose son owns
Are
it?
you talking about Isaac Hayes?
Yeah, Isaac Hayes'
It's
son.
not Facebook though. It's like
It's not Facebook, but it's called the what? The picnic and something.
the picnic.
Something. I can't believe none of y'all can help me on that.
Nah,
We'll
I'm
get
lost.
Isaac on the next show.
Yeah.
Isaac the Third.
You think you made that up?
Oh, I did have it public. It went back to whatever it went back to. Okay, let's get going on.
Who's
Now.
Get it
number
going.
one?
It's all recording.
We have Shayla Scott, WBLS on radio air personality. You go ahead and read that, Denny. You know, last week I was messing up terribly.
Yeah. Glasses.
Shayla
Shayla
Scott.
is a native New Yorker born in the village of Harlem. Shayla graduated from Martin Luther King Jr. High School before earning a BA in radio and television from Buffalo State College. She has worked in New York radio for over 30 years. Shayla, known as New York Sweetheart, is currently on air middays at 107.5 WBLS. Her first job was on-air personality for WBLK in Buffalo, where she worked for 4 years before joining WBLS. She later jumped to 98.7 KISS as the first hostess of Kissing After Dark, and later co-hosted mornings on The Wake Up Club with Jeff Fox, Talent, and the late Bob Slade. In 2010, Scott received the Excellence in Radio Broadcast Journalism Award. Following the closure of KISS FM, she rejoined the WBLS team in April of 2012. Shayla is the proud mother of two and has a heart for helping others. She has spearheaded work in breast cancer research, HIV/AIDS awareness, and teen pregnancy forums. In 2007, she founded the Sisterly Kiss Foundation and created a Sisterly Kiss Spa to provide a day of pampering for survivors of domestic violence. Her Mommies and Millennials workshop with her daughter, media personality Scotty Beam, is committed to building relationships between mothers and daughters. She regularly supports small Black-owned businesses with her virtual and in-person pop-up shops. Shayla inspires us to share our God-given talent with others.
Shayla,
Now that was one hell of an intro.
yes. Deneen could find all kind of information on anybody.
Yes. I'm
Deneen,
taking you wherever I go.
yes. Shayla, she be digging in the crates for real.
Man, that was impressive.
And I know Shayla's children too.
I mean, Maria could have wrote it herself too, knowing me for what, 25 years?
Oh Lord, y'all don't want me to tell. You know how I bullied Johnny Walker, right? I did the same thing to Shayla too.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
You just kept calling.
No, I can't win there and say I got AIDS. Can you help me?
It didn't start in elementary school. It started at the Soul Cafe.
Oh Lord.
Right, Shayla? Shayla was at Soul Cafe. I didn't even know. I was like, I'm in a book and I have AIDS. Can you help me?
Straight up.
Said I'm in
And
a
we've been
book.
friends. Yes, so are my sisters.
Every Sunday.
And we've been friends ever since. And I bully Allison too.
I'm in a book. I got AIDS.
Right.
I need help.
Right. That same thing I did with Johnny Walker. I went in the office and she was like, "How did this woman get my office?"
Yeah, well, because I got AIDS
Right.
and I need help. You can't. That is one hell of a line. Like that's one hell of an
What do you
opener.
say to that, Shayla? You just like,
Like, yeah, really. Like, what was your reaction to that? I'm kind of curious.
But meeting Maria and that being her first line,
Yes.
She had a shock and awe. Kind of. She didn't want to waste a whole lot of time because she knew that we didn't have a whole lot of time before we had to get back up on stage. So as soon as I came off stage, she was like, "Yo, this is it. This is what I got. This is what I need. This is what I want." Sitting there, you're like, okay, hold on. Come up there.
Her and Lenny Green. Her and Lenny.
You're like, I need time to process this.
Oh,
Not with Maria.
that's like, I shouldn't say that, right? When Will slapped Chris, Chris said he's still processing it.
Yes.
It was a slap, but not physical slap.
Yes. Yeah. It was shock and awe. Then you're like, okay, what did she just say? Okay, she's got AIDS. She's in a book and she wants to do this and wants to do that. Can I get a minute? I'm just saying.
you like mentally slapped her.
Or you just say yes.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
And that's what you did.
But can I tell you though, Shayla is such a. When I met her spirit was so. Her spirit is so large, it takes up the whole room. So when you meet her spirit at the same time. It's not many people you could say it like that.
Right.
Her spirit, her smile, what she stands about. Like some people, you got to kind of figure it out and get around. But with her, you don't have to figure it out and get around.
Right.
Shayla is
that's
Shayla.
you Harlem people.
Harlem.
That's you Harlem people.
Thank you, Marie. But Maria, it's the same way for you as well. But I also have to say that as I have traveled these streets, starting in radio in New York in 1988, around that same time, people would say, "Are you Allison Williams?" I'm like,
Wait, they thought you were Allison Williams?
yes.
Taylor and I have spent a lifetime being Allison Williams.
Oh,
And
wow.
when we finally met, that was her first line. Do you know that people come up to me all the time and they
All the
say,
time. Yes. From the
That was
that was
years.
around the time that her song came out too.
Right,
Really,
just call my name and I'll come running.
And
Yes.
I was like, man, I wish I had the voice. I have the face, but I just don't have the voice.
We was doing it, girl. We was doing it.
Yes, y'all were. Radio is not the same as it used to be anymore, where you had so much diversity. Even though Shayla still plays great music, she's probably one of the only radio show stations that I listen to, because everybody else, they play the same one song over, and they're going to make you like the song.
They're gonna
Whether you like it or not, they're going to make you like the song. Like,
I just want to chime in on one thing, and I want to sit back. And although Maria said, you can chime in because y'all are family. The one thing that I miss when you talk about radio programming and format from the past, Shayla, when you used to do the daily affirmations, I don't know if I'm calling it right.
Sicily Kid.
Consistently Kiss, yes.
Oh my God, that was just, I would record it just so I would have it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would pass it on to people in other states who didn't have BLS. It was just incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that's missed. And thank you for that moment in time.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you and I still do it at the end of every broadcast day at 2:50. The Sisterly Kiss airs. And it came about when I was at BLS. Probably in 1989, I got a call from somebody who used to listen to me in Buffalo. And he said that he was going to commit suicide that particular night.
Oh, wow.
the sisterly kiss that I did that particular night saved his life. And he called me. He always tried to get me at BLK, never could get me at BLK. Then he got me at BLS. And he said, I just wanted to say thank you because that night you saved my life. And at that point, I felt like, because sometimes you do those and you feel like you're the only one listening. But when you hear somebody say something like that, it changes everything. And then I decided that at every close of the show, I would do a sisterly kiss in hopes that at least one person like him, it would change their life.
Well, I'm sure during this pandemic, it changed a lot of people's lives because we were all locked in. So you were still on air though, right, Shayla? During the pandemic?
During the pandemic, that's right.
Did you do your show from your home?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I still am at home.
Oh, you are? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. So they set up the equipment at your house so that you can... Wow.
They ran here with the quickness, girl. They did not miss a beat. They was like, oh, you're not going to be able to make it to work tomorrow. We'll be there today with the microphone and the whole Comrex setup.
Oh,
and
wow.
I've been doing it like that ever since.
Oh.
Now that's kind of nice. So you're actually working from home.
Yep.
That's the bomb.
That's kind of. So I mean, do you want to go back, or are you kind of enjoying this environment working from home?
I love working from home. I don't see why I got to go through a 2-hour commute to get there. By the time I'm there, I'm so frustrated. It takes me time to get to my regular self, about 11:30, and then you can start the show. Now I'm prepared every night. I've created a space, a studio in my home so that I can come in here, prepare for my show, look up, do a whole lot of research. I mean, I can tend to put more into my show now than since I have these extra 4 hours a day that I used to give to commuting. Now I spend that time researching, talking to Maria Davis.
Right.
I'm able to do more, I think.
And when you're on the air, you're live on the air. Am I accurate? Live from the house.
Yep.
That's hot.
It don't matter where you live from, long as you live.
No. I was just trying to make sure like she wasn't doing a pre-recorded thing and then they were recording it.
No.
So you live from the crib.
Live.
That's hot. I like that.
But I want to go back, Shayla. I want to talk about when I first met you, your 2 lovely children. Were you a single mother or were you married?
I was married then.
Okay.
When you met me. I started Soul Cafe. My baby was 2 months old at the time. I had come back from maternity leave and went straight to the Soul Cafe.
Get out.
Mm-hmm. You all up in her business, Maria.
Yeah. That's what sisters do. Let me hit you in the head. So what college did you attend?
I went to the SUNY college at Buffalo, Buff State.
Oh.
And when I went there, as soon as I got there, I knew what I wanted to major in. So I majored in broadcasting. I just didn't know if I wanted to do TV or radio. But as time went on, I realized that radio was really for me. I started to get more into radio programming and radio production. And then I was in a contest for the Kappas. And I said that I wanted to be in radio. And one of the judges happened to be a radio personality for WBLK. And he told me they had an opening. I should try out for it.
Wow.
And then I ended up getting in before I even graduated. It was such a blessing because I was on a college radio station either. I didn't get a chance to do that. I got the job at BLK. And then I had to choose whether I would continue to go to school full-time or go to school part-time. And I went part-time so that I could take the full-time radio gig. And
wow.
That's how I started up in Buffalo.
So
Parker and Gary Bird and Jerry Bledsoe.
So all of them, Gary Bird and all of them were up in Buffalo?
Yep.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, from Buffalo.
Wow. Yep. Shuffle off to Buffalo. Shout out to Buffalo. I ain't think that in the Bible they said, does anything good come from Buffalo?
Was popping.
And so you went from, how did you wind up in New York?
Well, after about 3 years at BLK, I wanted to come home. And, the only place I wanted to go, ironically, was WBLS. So I sent like 10 tapes. I didn't hear nothing. So I was home on vacation one day, and one of my neighbors, Rodney Duncan, he told me, Miss Schultz lives across the street. She's Percy Sutton's secretary. I'm like, what? So I, put on my clothes that night, went to bed, jumped up, brushed my teeth, ran outside and stood outside her house. He said she comes out every day about 8:00.
Wow.
So I went, stood outside her house, waited until she came out. When she came out, she breezed past me. And I said, wait, please, can you just give my tape to the program director at BLS? And she was like, I ain't got nothing to do with programming. She was very spicy lady. And she just kept walking. So her husband said, come back later when she got more time. So I came back that night, and they used to have these peepholes that had holes. It was actually like bars. She opened that peephole. She said, I thought I told you I don't have nothing to do with programming. So your husband, I heard him in the background say, no, I told her to come back. So I explained that I had sent 10 tapes and nobody has responded. I think nobody's listening. So I just want to make sure they get the tape. She said, I ain't promised you no job. I said, no, I don't want you to promise me a job. Just promise me he'll get the tape. So she gave it to him. She told me that she gave it to him. Never heard from BK Kirkland. So I had to start thinking about another option. So I said, let me just go ahead and be a flight attendant. That way I could take my tapes all around the country.
No!
That's one hell of a train of thought.
That was my plan. So I went to American Airlines. I went to 2 interviews. I came back, BLK. I had missed both times I went down to Dallas for these interviews. I missed my airship coming back. So BLK had enough. They were going to get rid of me that Friday. So I knew it, and then I was going to resign as well, because I said, I'm just going to go home, and I don't know what I'm going to do, but wait for the airline to call me, whatever. So the last day, I'm answering all the calls, saying goodbye to my listeners. This man on the phone, he says, hi, I'm BK Kirkland.
Oh.
I said, yeah, right. Who is this? Because I knew all my friends knew that I wanted to go to BLS. It was no secret. So he said, no, this is BK Kirkland. So I played with him for a while. I was like, I don't believe it. And I said, if you are BK Kirkland, who gave you my tape? And he said, Sylvia Schultz. And I froze because I knew nobody knew that.
Right.
And at that point, I knew what I was meant to do. God was seriously sending me a message.
Absolutely.
Because had I left there that day, I would have never heard from BK Kirkland. He lost my resume. That's why he was calling on the request line.
Oh, wow.
He said, I call this number once a day, hoping you'll pick up. And I said, BK, if I didn't pick up today, I would have never heard from you, because they're getting rid of me today. I was going to resign today, and here you are. So he said, I only got one day now. I ain't got a whole full-time shift. I was like, you know what? That's all I want. Just give me a day a week. And as God would have it, the moment I stepped into BLS and I met Vaughn Harper, he became my guardian angel.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Took me.
I just have to ask you, how long was that process from the time you sent the tapes till BK actually called you? Like, how long did that take?
It was a while, because I had record executives taking the tape to BLS. I think it was maybe a year and a half.
Yeah. I wanted to show your perseverance. that it wasn't like 10 days.
It ain't easy, right.
Like it wasn't easy like that. A year and a half.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Back then, they kept saying, who you think you are, Frankie Crocker? You can't go straight from Buffalo to New York. You got to go to Arizona, Oklahoma. And I said, why should I have to do that? New York is home for me. Mm-hmm. I felt like there was a place for me here because I know this city. I love this city. Don't nobody love this city like I do. I should be able to serve the same city that served me. So they were like, well, good luck on that. Right. So, and there's a lot of people who do. A lot of people travel the whole country before they enter New York radio, because New York radio is the #1 market of the major market. So this is, the highest spot you can go on the radio chain.
Right. So what year did you get the job?
So he had one day and I took it, and I got here in '88. Bugsy I was raised by men in this industry.
Yes, yes.
Raymond Anthony was the one who told me about the opening at BLK, and then got to BLS. BK Kirkland gave me the job. Bugsy trained me. It was Sergio Dean that taught me the art of summarizing my breaks.
Wow.
But Juan taught me everything about longevity. Because when he said to me, I've been on the radio 20 years, I'm like, I could only wish and pray and hope that I'm on the air that long. And he said, you remind me of a personality by the name of Lamar Renee. And he said he didn't know if Lamar really wanted to be in radio that long. Maybe she wanted to be in television more. He said, but if you want to be in radio, you could be here for a very long time, Shayla. You just got to learn this game. And he taught me everything. And when I wanted to give up on myself, I remember they got rid of me at BLS, and that opened the door for KISS, but I had no idea. Vaughn told me, he called me. I was living at home with my daughter on unemployment. And I thought, I'm gonna take a break, just rest a little while. And he calls me and he's like, get up, go to KISS. I said, KISS is not gonna hire me, Vaughn. I said, because my name is too synonymous with BLS. Get up. No, get up. Get up now and go to KISS. So I was like, they're not gonna want me. He said, make them want you.
That's right.
Okay. I got my tape. I went to Macy's and I had them gift wrap the tape.
Okay.
And I had them give it to Vinnie Brown. So now Vinnie Brown thinks it's a gift.
So he gonna open it because he thinks it's a gift.
Right. Good
So
tactic. Good tactic.
I love that.
He said, but I just want to see you. I just want to see who would do this. So we met. And he said, if you're willing to drop Catus, because at the time I was on the air, Shayla Catus. He said, if you're willing to drop Catus, I'll give you the job. And he gave me the job. I was, Catus, who? Who that?
Yeah. I would just be Shayla.
Right. Who's Catus? Never heard of them.
Yeah. And he said, I said, so why don't I use another? He said, no. He said, there's Janet, there's Luther, there's Patty. They didn't need no last name. And he said,
and neither do you.
You as Shayla.
That's dope.
Yeah, and it really was.
I got a question, because now you're taking me back to like radio in the 80s, right? And I listened to you and can you name some of the DJs that were on during that time frame on KISS and BLS at the time?
Red Alert was one of them.
Oh,
right?
yeah. But she's I like Sergio. I forgot all about Sergio.
Yeah, when she said Sergio, I was like, oh my God, that's a blast from the past.
Like, who was some of the other jocks during your time frame?
When I got there, it was just radio giants. When I first got to BLS, Ken Webb was on in the morning.
Wow.
Mary Thomas was on in the midday.
Wow, Mary Thomas.
I believe, who was it? I know Sergio was on in the evening. Vaughn was Quiet Storm. And Jerry Bledsoe had just left. So Champagne followed.
Champagne. Wow.
That's right. And you're talking radio giants, and every day. Then you had Charlie Berger, Chuck Leonard.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Charlie Berger. Wow. Chuck Leonard.
Charlie Berger, Chuck Leonard. And, I saw him. I remember seeing him at Broadway International when I used to party at Broadway International. Mm-hmm. And those leather pants he had on, he had them same leather pants. Chuck. Because Chuck, everywhere he went, it seemed like he had leather pants, but he was this larger than life personality. And just to see him walking through the hallways, it's like, this is amazing. Going to a meeting with Vaughn Harper, Frankie Crocker, Sergio Dean, Bugsy, Champagne, Pat Prescott. At the time,
Pat Prescott.
Johnny Allen.
Yeah, where was Johnny Allen?
Johnny was at KISS.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Like Carol Ford was at KISS.
Carol Ford? Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where was Hal Jackson? Because Hal Jackson was in there too, right?
Yep. Bobby Condors was playing club music at the time. He wasn't the reggae Bobby Condors.
Right. And when did David Levy come in? Later on too,
Later on. Yeah. He was at KISS at the time, and then he left and came to BLS. I think when Mike Love and Tony Gray came to BLS.
Right. And then there was Mike Shannon also, right?
Mike was on Kiss.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my Kiss twin. We got hired at Kiss the same year. In 94. That's my Kiss.
So what do you think about radio now? I don't. I'm like, once y'all leave, what is there?
I think, Maria, we come from a time like Vaughn and Frankie. Frankie, when he called me in to come work for him, he didn't even tell me that he wanted me to work for him. He just told me to come in, and he sat me in this dark studio for like, I don't know, 3 hours. I think I was sitting there. He didn't say a word.
I just want to be clear, right? Because I know we're having that kind of conversation. You're referring to Frankie Crocker, correct?
Frankie Crocker, the Chief Rocker.
Right, yeah, the Chief Rocker, Frankie Crocker. There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Yes.
And this was another Vaughn, because Frankie calls me and he says he wants me to come in. I said to Vaughn, I call Vaughn, I'm like, I'm not going in. Frankie wants to fire me. I think he just should fire me on the phone. I don't want to go all the way down there. Pay a fare to go down there for him to fire me. He said, get up, go down to the station.
That seemed like to be the theme thread throughout the first couple of years. Your radio.
He would not let me give up. He would never let me give up on myself. So he says, get up. I was like, no, Vaughn, I think he just needs to fire me on the phone. He said, get up now and go down there. So I go down there. Frankie is in this dark studio and you have to be buzzed in. So you get in there. He says, have a seat. He doesn't talk to me for like 3 hours. I'm just sitting there. There's no phones to look at. We didn't have phones then. So I'm just sitting there like this the whole time. So he says, finally, he says, did you learn anything?
In the dark room?
In the dark room. I said, yeah. And he says, good, because you're filling in for me tomorrow. And I say all that to say, he hands me the sheet and I had to program the entire 4 hours. He was on from 4 to 8. I got to play whatever my heart's desire. And that was what I loved about radio in the 80s and 90s, was that we were able to take what they called album cuts, and we could put that into our show to make our show sound a little different than the next job, But as time went on, it became more research oriented, and they paid all this money for research, which limited the amount of input jocks could have. But Vaughn fought to the very end. And that's what made The Quiet Storm so much different. That's what made Frankie's show so much different, that they were actually programming from top to bottom every single day. And I think that's what's missing today.
Yes.
They don't have a whole lot of faith in the new music. It's what people want to hear on a regular, and how it's tested, how many people come in every hour to listen, how many new people come in, and how many, hit songs we can play. There's not that gut programming anymore. And I think that's what's missing.
And that's what gave your show's personality.
Right.
That's what made you want to listen to that jock. You're like, oh, I know I'm gonna hear this joint because it's what she plays, Yeah, no one else plays that, but you're absolutely right. And there's no diversity within the station. There's no diversity.
Right.
Truthfully, they just trade bodies, but they play the same music, and then there's not even that much talking like there used to be, in terms of them having spirited conversation, really.
Well, Shayla's, I don't know who else's show, but Shayla's like one of the only shows to me to have interactions, and then she's always giving them something like the Sisterly Kiss Foundation, her doing pop-ups and all these different things, and cancer awareness and all of the awareness that she does in the community. That's still what makes her radio show, to me, even bigger than all the rest of the radio shows, because she talks about stuff,
Well, I think that was Vaughn too. I have to give him the credit, because when I started feeling chained to this new system, as time went on in the 90s, we're now getting into the new millennium. And he says, now what you got to do is inject yourself in there, so that there's nobody else. They're going to play these same songs every day, all day. But now you got to inject something in between those songs that nobody else can do.
Absolutely.
Every time you open your mouth, it should be something of substance, or don't say anything at all. That way, can't nobody do what you do. You could be going, and when people, even now, it warms my heart because I think about him when people say, "Oh man, you go on vacation again." It makes me feel good because maybe I feel like I got it, Vaughn. I figured it out. I figured out how to take something. Now we got the same cake every day, but how can we make this cake taste different every single day by what you inject into it?
Right.
So that's what keeps me passionate about what I do.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's powerful because I guess it could become a little redundant, I would imagine. So
Yeah,
being able to do that, that's fire though. That's really crazy.
I wish I hope you go out and you speak to young people and and those that want to get into communication and radio, because they need to hear this kind of conversation, how they should inject themselves to make their show different from everybody else's. Even when I do my showcases, I always say to the artist, what makes you different from the next artist? Y'all both singing hip hop, but what makes your hip hop different from? And I ain't talking about gun, bang, bang, shoot 'em up. I'm talking about what words, the craftsmanships of your words. How do you use your words to bring people in and engage them?
Right.
That's what that's about. How do you bring people in and engage them?
It's passion, because that's what makes you different, Maria, is that when you talk about anything, you see the passion that seeps through every line that you say, even the pausing. Something else, something is about to be powerful, but you done took a minute to think about what you're going to say.
That's right. Sometimes I do it because I forgot. That's a technique. I learned that technique, Shayla. I learned that technique. People were like, "Oh, do she?" I forgot my next line, so I'm trying to compose. But that's a technique that you have to learn.
Absolutely.
Like, people don't know that technique. I'll stare into the audience as I look into somebody's eyes, and they think I'm looking at them, but really I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to say next.
That's correct.
But that's how you that, and I learned that from radio air personalities like Shay. You have to study people that speak a lot.
Yes.
The people that have to be engaging and have to capture their audience. How do you capture your audience with your words?
And one of the craziest things is silence is one of them.
Yes.
Right? Because if you're doing a lecture and you're lecturing, and you're droning on. If you stop, that gets them out of the trance. Right.
What's next?
Right. And then you can go ahead and do what you got to do. No, I do this. I do the same thing when I lecture. I'm really forgetting though.
Shayla, and you're going to communication school when you went to college, is that some of the things that they taught you? But I know you had to do public speaking. Did you have to do some of the courses that you had to take?
Yeah, we had to do public speaking. I remember us having to do a lot of things technically. We had to learn a lot of the machinery, because remember back then, I don't want to make it seem like, was in the Flintstones.
You still young, girl.
Go ahead.
But
Talk that Flintstone stuff, girl.
With reels. Do you know that my first air check was done on a reel-to-reel? I handed this big old reel to the PD. Mm-hmm. And he put it on a reel-to-reel machine, and that's how he heard my first air check.
Wow.
And you would think that was in the 50s. That was 1984.
That's right. They were still using reels to do shows.
Yeah. Wait, what's the air check? Air
check is like an audition tape.
Oh, okay.
All of your breaks from, various shows to show the variety, the things that you can do on the air. If you're ever putting together an air check or audition tape for a radio station, it will behoove you to try to do different shows, like, the Quiet Storm format, then do a midday show, then high energy morning, just to show
a diversity,
the variety in your personality.
Right. Wow, this is some good stuff. You making me want to go to school. I know they probably not teaching it like that anymore, but it's the same thing as now. Artists used to use musicians. Like, you had to learn how to read music. You had to know how to play an instrument. Nobody does that no more. They go in the room and push a button, because artists tell me all the time, like one of the artists that's doing my show, Mad Wednesday on April 20th, I said to her, you know I have a live band. She said, oh yeah, but I want to use my tape because I feel more comfortable with you. I said, girl, you don't know how to step out the box? You only know how to do the music from the studio? That's what Mad Wednesdays is about. So you can get up on the stage and learn some other things. It's not just about being in the studio, because in the studio you can't engage your audience. So how do you engage your audience?
Oh, and speaking of engagement, I just want to hit something real quick, because they're chatting it up in YouTube. Let me see. Jacqueline Fuller says, hi, everyone. Maria Deneen. I'm on the right podcast. It sounds like it. She started laughing. She also said, Frankie Crocker, the Chief Rocker. Love him. Love the Quiet Storm. And Jacqueline says, we need the Quiet Storm back. No hip hop. Okay, don't be a hip hop hater. I'm just saying.
And over here in Facebook, we have June Moses, Renee Mickens, Ann Smith, Carolyn Adams, Rich Lamont from WBLS. Hey,
Rich Lamont?
We got Ed.
Like I know him.
There I go. Keith Mo Johnson said, damn, Frankie Crocker, the Chief Rocker. I remember those days. And
you know what's so sad? There needs to be like a big celebration of all the DJs that we lost. Nobody to me celebrate. Nobody talks about Von Harper no more. Nobody talks about, we do, but I'm talking about this new generation of young people. They need to know why radio existed. Why?
But you know what? I'm praying, because next year, God spare my life, BLS will be 50 years old.
Wow.
And I'm hoping that from the top of that year to the bottom, we will do exactly what you're talking about. We will celebrate the lives of those who gave this station the longevity.
Yeah.
You know, because they spent 30 years, I think Vaughn was on the air on BLS. Frankie Crocker took this station to places it's never seen since. You know what I mean? Now we have Cynthia Smith, our program director, who's taken us to #1 twice.
Wow.
And the
Shout
first woman
shout out to
program
Cynthia
director.
Smith.
The first woman program director at WBLS, Cynthia Smith.
I have a question, right? Just sort of an observation. Is the BLS like an abbreviated word for blacks?
No, but it's had many different names.
Right, because the A and the C is just out, and then you have BLS.
Bigger, longer, wider, bigger, longer, stronger.
Okay.
I've always loved World's Best Looking Sound. Frankie.
Oh.
Frankie came up.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of hot. I like that. World's Best Looking Sound.
It had many names, though. WBLS stood for so many different things.
Okay.
I like a World Black Listening Studio. BLS.
We're just making up stuff.
World Black. Look, World Black.
So I'd like to ask you a question, but I don't want to dispel what you make. I just want to ask, are the salaries different now than they were in the 80s and the 90s for jocks on air? Has the salary changed? Has it gone up? Has it gone down? Like, how's that sort of?
I think because when I came in on the tail end of these huge salaries. But the difference between then and now is that they had them for so long. Like, they were on the radio for 20 years making $250,000 back then. Mm-hmm. Now it seems like it's drug money. It's like people get these contracts, it's real quick, they're on the air for 5-7 years, then
done.
Out, and they're out. Right. There's no longevity. There's no these radio giants, they were invested in radio. Now there's so many different variations that you can get into. Like now, we're on Zoom and
YouTube.
So their concentration is in fragments now. They can't just totally focus on radio. Back then, that's all they could totally focus on radio, get their craft sharpened to the point where they are making $250,000, $500,000
right.
in 1982 up until 1999.
Right.
Because there was only that medium to focus on. They weren't interested in getting into TV. Now, when you're in radio, people are like, you got to do the podcast. You got to do the TV.
Right.
You got to do this. You got to do that. So you got to try to share yourself in so many different mediums.
Right, because of the new mediums that are out now. You're right. Because radio is concentrated. And I remember like in the 80s, BLS wasn't playing hip hop really, and neither was early 80s, and neither was KTU, right? Those because the competing stations was KTU and BLS, right? And then Rappers Delight came on, but we had to wait all day to hear that record. Like we would sit there and just wait, and we'd wait, and then finally it'd come on, and then we hit play on the cassette so we could record. We had the record button. But I just remember being that investment in radio as a fan is not like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? You were very invested, and you invested in your jocks. You woke up to Ken Spiderweb.
Right.
The color of the day.
Right, the color of the day. Like you had all that stuff.
And you were invested in those shows as well. Because,
Yes.
I remember talking to Vanessa Williams, and she said, how many times I've been late for school because I was waiting for Ken to say what the color of the day was, and he was late saying it, so I got to school late.
Wow.
I was late because Ken was telling the wrong time in the morning. Ken used to tell the wrong time. Be like, Ken, doggone Ken Webb telling the wrong time.
The craziest thing is when you did meet your radio hero, because I remember I met Ken Spiderweb, you didn't know what he looked like.
True.
You didn't know what he looked like.
You sure didn't
because it was radio, right?
Right.
And we were at Justine's over on 35th,
Justine.
and Ken was hosting, and I heard him speak, and I was like, oh, you're Ken Spiderweb. Like I bugged out, like a nut. And I was a total fan. He's like, yeah, I got to wake you all up in the morning, And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I just remember that you didn't know what your radio personalities actually looked like until you heard him speak when you met him in person, and you knew the voice then, you know what I'm saying? And then that connected.
I remember going to Jamaica Avenue to the record store to see Mary Thomas, and I'm like, well, where's she at? They're like, she's sitting over there. I'm like, Mary Thomas is white?
And was it Champagne too? Was it Champagne? Because I remember I used to talk to Champagne all the time, and then somebody was like, she is Caucasian. I said, for real? She like a sister.
Yeah, I think that's what blew my mind too when I got to BLS, and because as soon as I got to BLS, she left and went back to Kiss. But when I saw her, and I was like, all this time I never knew that Mary Thomas was Caucasian and Champagne either.
Right.
I didn't know that either. Totally blew my mind.
Mine too.
And that's radio, really.
Yeah.
Right? That was the mystique of it. Right?
Exactly. And that's what you love.
That's what you love. You created an image of what this person looked like because of their voice.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Your own vision of this person, because people will come up to me and say, oh, I thought you was darker. But that's the wonderful thing. You get to create. It's theater of the mind, as they say. You get to create your own picture.
But we don't have that. That's what we don't get to create nothing anymore because everything's on Instagram and Facebook. It's no secret to anything. They telling you everything. You don't even get to guess nothing.
Right.
Like, can I guess something? No, you can't because we're gonna tell you everything.
Right. That is crazy.
So Shayla, your beautiful daughter, she is now like an influencer with all of these followers. Now she done followed after you.
Hold on, Shay.
She done passed.
Give me 2 seconds. I just got to run through a couple commercials real quick. We'll be right back.
Go on, my gente.
All right.
Mi gente.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
The real discussion can't be silenced. Perspective of yours, one night show. Mi gente, mi people, the conversation, and Q Nation.
Your systems are offline.
Oh shit, nigga! Is you crazy? Get the power back on!
Oh shit, here we go again.
Please donate to our Cash App, Boardwalk Podcast. That's $, Boardwalk Podcast.
All right. Okay, and we're back.
Mi gente, mi people.
Mi gente, mi people.
Can't be silent. Shayla, your daughter.
Scotty.
Your daughter and Scotty.
I'm floored because Deani did not want to do this. I used to try to get her to go on the air with me and talk about certain things. Like we would have issues where she wanted to get a tattoo. And I took it on air and she was like, oh, Mom, why you gotta tell everybody everything? And then I would say, come on the air and let's discuss it. And she was like, no, I don't want to talk on the radio. I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to do. Next thing I know, she's like, Mom, she pulls me into a little studio in where we are on Hudson Avenue, on the Hudson Street. And she says, Mom, I think I want to be on the air. This was many years later, like after she had gone to college, decided she didn't want to be there, and then came back home and started working with Angie Martinez, who was her babysitter a lot of the time when I was doing Kissing After Dark. Angie would babysit her because she would never want to stay on the old people's side. She said, I don't want to be on the old people's side. I want to go to Hot 97. So I think Angie was a large influence on her as well. She wanted to be over there to see who would be next. And then any day, Mike Tyson came in one day carrying her in because she was asleep. You know, Erykah Badu walks in and she's carrying her. Oh, she fell asleep in the studio. So I think it was inbred in her,
yeah,
like,
she got bitten
from birth, but she fought it as long as she could. And then finally she just gave in. And what a wonderful watching of her movie. I call her the greatest movie I ever seen because I never know what's going to happen next. Deani keeps surprising me. One day in that very same studio, she pulled me in and said she wanted to be on the air. She told me she was leaving Hot 97. And she had grown as much as she could. And I said, well, you don't have a job. You can't leave. And she said, I'm stepping out on faith. You taught me about walking by faith, but we're gonna walk by faith now. And she did. And thank God for becoming an influencer because it gave her wings and she literally flew out the door and just kept flying. And now she's got these award-winning podcasts, and Black Girl Podcast was the first. Oh, okay, now listen is another one she does for Netflix. And Get You and Me is another one she's doing. So I'm very proud, Maria. And you should be proud too, because you were part of that village that helped to raise her.
Yeah, and your son, what is your son doing?
DJ went to college for communications, media communications, but he has more of a political edge. Mm-hmm. So his frat brother is Mark Lamont Hill.
Okay.
And he has influenced him a lot in, becoming a political science major. So he majored in media communications and political science, graduated, and then got a job at the Black News Channel. And unfortunately, a year after he finished, yes, he lost the job.
That is incredible. And to see your children from little to now, Deani gave you a surprise birthday party that you didn't know about. No, was a surprise. And so, Shayla, where can people follow you, watch you, all those good things if they want to get in contact? You have Sisterly Kiss Foundation, because I have Allison on, so I want to bring her on too. But you have the Sisterly Kiss Foundation. Right. And that
they could go to sisterlykiss.com and find out about the foundation, find out about Shea Lala Butter. Is that my, thank God for Puka, who helped me to come up with my very first scent. Shea Lala Butter.
Shea Lala Butter.
Dang, I don't even know about Shea Lala Butter.
Does Gwen know about Shea Lala Butter? Because she ain't telling us nothing.
I have to talk to Gwen. She's slipping on the job.
Yeah, big shout out to Shea Lala Butter. Yeah.
And how long is Butter? 100% of the proceeds goes to the Sisterly Kiss Foundation.
Wow.
And as Denise mentioned earlier, we have, through the pandemic, we created a marketplace where we give small Black-owned businesses a platform to sell their goods and services. Now it's in person. We're taking them to area malls. and allowing small Black-owned businesses to go into the malls and sell their products. And if you are a small Black business owner, please reach out to us and become a vendor on our pop-up. We have one coming up April 23rd at the Galleria in White Plains, where Deneen, we were there before. Deneen won every prize that we ever had.
Wait a minute, I was there too, and I'm the reason why she came, and she won money and gave me $5.
And she came and won everything.
Right. And then gave me $5 when I was the one that convinced her to go.
I bought a lot of stuff too. Shout out to Art in New Jersey, Arts World in New Jersey.
No, but
he took all my money.
Yeah, but you have some very good girl. I spend too much money there. I'm gonna try to come on the 23rd, but I'll make sure I don't have no money in my pocket though, because you wind up spending all your money.
It's a pre-Mother's Day, buy for the mothers in your life. Me being one, Maria, so you got to come and get me something.
Okay.
If you'd like to once again be a part of it, please go to sisterlykiss.com. And thank you all. Thank everybody in listening distance for giving me. Now it's been 30. How many years has it been? 88 to now. How many years is that?
And you still look 12.
That's about 30. Is that about 30?
Over 30. See, that's why we're friends.
And you're on every day, Monday through Friday.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
10 a.m.
So thank you, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, everybody who has given me these 30 plus years on the radio. God bless you and thank you for all that you've done for me. You trust and believe you've done. I can speak volumes about what you've done for me and my life. So thank you for listening and thank you for your friendship, Maria.
Thank you, Shay.
You gotta give that up. You gotta give that up.
Yeah, we should have wore our shirts today.
That was touching.
Right, we should have worn
We be loving Shayla
right,
shirts.
we sure did.
That's something else that WBLS stands for. We be loving Shayla.
That's right.
I love that.
That's right. WBLS.
We be loving Shayla. I love that.
He sent me that shirt, and it was such a wonderful idea. And I don't know who he is to this day, but I started making shirts, WBLS shirts, with We Be Loving Shayla.
I love it. We be loving Shayla.
That's hot. Yeah.
Thank you, Shayla.
Thank you,
Thank
Shayla.
you so much for coming on. It was really an honor, really, to have you on the show.
Yes, yes. And
I'm loving you too, Allison. I don't know where Allison
Yeah,
went.
where's Allison? We need Allison, Alley Cat. There she is.
I love you.
Yes.
And I'm so glad to see you're doing well.
Yes,
You look
yes.
phenomenal.
Yes, she does.
Shall I go into the introduction?
Yes, please go into the go, because we know you done wrote a good introduction, honey.
Yes, I can't wait.
Allison Williams was born into a musical family. Following in the footsteps of her band leader father, Bobby Booker, Allison began performing as a singer and dancer at a young age. After college, she began her career as a noted background singer for a number of major acts such as Melba Moore, Bobby Brown, Unlimited Touch, and Evelyn Champagne King. Shame. She was part of the singing group High Fashion with Melissa Morgan. As a well-sought-out session singer, her hook work on several early hip-hop songs made a name for her in the music business and led to Russell Simmons signing her to be the first R&B female singer signed to Def Jam Records. Her 1989 album, Raw, yielded major hits with Just Call My Name, I Need Your Lovin', and My Love Is So Raw. Williams managed to gain the love of both hip-hop and traditional soul fans with her powerful voice. Allison also ventured into acting. In 1986, she portrayed her friend Phyllis Hyman in a musical play called Thank God the Beat Goes On. She also played Marvin Gaye's mother, Alberta, in the play My Brother Marvin. Multi-talented, Williams also made a mark in radio, where she became an on-air personality on Harlem's WHCR-FM, hosting the show Love Notes with Allison Williams.
Alley Cat.
Another spectacular intro. You are something else, lady. Something else.
She got an honor. What you eating, Allison? You ain't shared. Throw it through the screen.
Hold up, let her swallow.
Wait, we can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah, Allison, you muted.
It's probably the most unprofessional thing I think I've ever done. because I take this podcast thing seriously, like I take any other thing that puts me in front of a public eye. But I'm a type 2 diabetic, so if I don't eat by a certain time,
yes, you have to eat. That's right.
I'll be sitting here looking at this.
Don't do that, Allison.
Allison.
So,
don't scare us.
I was so happy to sit and listen to Shayla's story, and I share so much of it, knowing about radio and the radio of our earlier years. But I looked up and I was like, if they don't come on, I gotta go get some. I went and got a bowl of cereal, y'all.
Oh Lord.
That's as quick as I could. That's the quickest thing I could think to get something in my system. I apologize. I'm here.
No
and I'm all
problem.
yours for as long as you want me and as long as you need me.
But wait a minute.
Eat as much
You can't
cereal
tell me
as
I'm
you
gonna
need.
be on something at 5 o'clock and then don't get to me till 6:11.
Wait, listen, Allison. I want you to get some salad. Make you a big, huge salad with some fruit on it that you can pick on.
The minute I get off of here, but I'm saying in the meantime, I was sitting waiting because I didn't know what time y'all were gonna just call my name.
And we wanted to play the record, but I forgot. If you play somebody else's music, they flag you.
Yeah, they'll
on
tag
all
you.
of these.
I know, it's so
On
crazy.
yeah, on
The
all of
hook
these.
thing that you can't play that. Either.
Nah.
I think you could play it.
Nah, I'd have to download it and stuff. I mean, I don't,
okay.
you know, YouTube is funny. You know what I'm saying? Like I got flagged like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and they took the video down. So I've been.
But it's just the hooks is short enough.
Yeah, I know. We can go over the hooks though. Yeah. We can go over the hooks.
But I'm so glad we can go over the hooks.
Yeah, because
Allison,
like
I didn't know your history until Deneen actually sent me the records that you did, right? But before, and I was like, and she, AJ, and I'm like,
my street cred,
yeah.
Allison is the 80s queens of hip hop R&B hooks.
I rule the world. Fat boys are back.
Fat boys. Wow. They playing basketball.
Oh, that was Allison?
That was Allison.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, come on, Allison. You can't hold it. You skipped over some shit. You got to go back a little bit. What did you say? Because there was something that wasn't even on there. What did you say?
What? I said fat boys and fat boys are back.
Keep going.
I said you gotta believe.
I didn't know you did. You got to believe with Starsky. You got to believe. Don't. Are you kidding? Yeah, those are smash hit records.
I Want Action was a track that they did on that was actually under the title of Curtis Blow and the Orange Crush Band.
Orange Crush, that's right. I want action. I'm a lady on the move. I need action.
All right.
Come on, I know all that stuff.
Rob, don't quit your day job.
No.
You sound horrible.
She played. She's like my childhood.
You can't talk about him singing the way you came on. Talk about a chair is not a chair.
That's okay. Because I can do that. Because it's called Can't Be Silenced Podcast with Maria Davis.
Allison, are you kidding?
Oh, that's how you gonna do it.
That's right. Can't nobody come on Shayla's show talking mess, because that's the Shayla show. I'm your boss right now.
That is true, yes. But listen.
Maria and I have been going back and forth forever. She's always telling me I'm not the boss of her, and I make her know she's not the boss of me. So if I call her out for her non-singing ability, it's okay.
I don't care what y'all say. I still sound good. Go ahead.
So you basically.
Hey, listen, baby, it's all how you feel in your heart and all of what you hear in your mind.
So you were the hook of the '80s for those records.
She was the queen
of
hip
hop. Right. That didn't even come out right. I'm talking about you a hook. You was a hook in the '80s.
I mean, you the hook lady. I don't know how to say that.
Queen of art. She was the queen of hip hop hooks.
What they now call the hook girl. I was a hook girl.
Queen of the choruses.
What I call about. I say before we had the word hip hop in our vernacular, it was rap music. That's what it was.
That's right.
At the very beginnings of rap, I was making a mark, and then I moved over to start doing more mainstream people. One of my first background tracks was the Invisible Man's Band, which was Clarence Burke of the Burke family, brought you the 5 steps. And he had that song, Baby, it's an all night thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All night thing. I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
So I did
wow.
backgrounds on all of that. That was like my first studio thing that I did singing. Although nobody knew who I was, I was just happy to be there. I also, my very first mainstream for someone that I had looked up to, was Melba Moore. I'm on several tracks that were produced by Kashif for Melba Moore.
Wow.
And just to know that I had seen her on Broadway and television and film, it was like, I'm going to sing back up on Melba Moore, and to come full circle as an adult now and have the relationship that I have with her. Shout out to Auntie Mel. And as you all mentioned, Denise mentioned, Bobby Brown was a project I worked on. Evelyn King, what did I do with Evelyn? Love Come Down.
Yes.
Oh, you did that? Did you sing on that?
Love Come Down.
Oh, shoot. You're killing me right now.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, you make my love come down. We played that in the Bronx all day.
Rock, can you stop acting like a groupie?
I'm sorry. Like I'm fanned out right now.
You're a groupie right now.
Yeah, I'm groupied out. Because these records, listen, I was playing these records when I was, I was a kid. And we were DJing, playing these records in the park. And a lot, that was a hip hop record for us. You know what I'm saying? That was like hip hop R&B to us. All of us, it wasn't rapping on it, but we played that in the park. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't playing the break beats. We played Love Come Down, bro.
I want you to be that enthusiastic about me when they say Maria Davis. Cause you're being a super groupie right now.
Cause I did not know her track.
That's what happens.
I didn't know her work.
That's what happened when you connect with people like me and Denise.
Is that what it is?
You get to see the other side.
I get to see the others. I'm learning so much right now. Like I'm bugging. I'm Allison. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Every time someone knows a little bit more, then they spread that around.
Yeah.
And that's how you keep you build your legacy and you build your platform, and people understand, they get it, and they say, "Oh my goodness, well."
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what will really blow your mind. When she does Phyllis Hyman, she does a whole show on Phyllis Hyman.
Really?
And oh my God. Let me tell you something. Alley Cat done been in the prisons with me, because I used to take her to the prison. Right, Alley? I used to take her to the prison because I did the HIV at Pace, Napanock, Eastern Correctional Facility, and I would bring the band up there, and Allison was one of the singers that would come up there with me to perform. I done had everybody everywhere. I be boss.
Wait a minute, but Maria, how about we would go so often that there was one guy, and I'm not trying to make light of anyone's situation, but he was in doing his bid, and every time I went, he was there, and they'd be like, "Oh, so and so's girlfriend is here." And he was fan, and he had privileges. He was working on the sound and the stage stuff, and they would call him my boyfriend because he was still there every time I came back.
He was the sound man in prison?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maria took a full production up to prison, honey.
Yes.
Did the whole thing.
Dancers, band, the whole shebang.
How did that come about?
And she did it for years at a time. That was her contract.
Yeah.
And then that also led to me working with her with the families and doing the Thanksgiving dinner giveaways. And we go from home to home and center to center, and we give away turkey dinner boxes with everything you needed to make a holiday dinner. And I've done a lot of work with Maria, and we started doing that Phyllis Hyman thing at the Soul Cafe.
Yes.
That was the first time I actually had put together my, after coming off the road with the Whispers, people kept saying, "When are you going to do the Phyllis Hyman show again?" And I kept explaining to people I had not done a Phyllis Hyman show at all. I had done a show about the Whispers, and because of the relationship of Phyllis Hyman with the Whispers personally and in show business, she was a character that was a part of this presentation. We toured for about 2 years. It was an incredible run. It was an incredible show. And so I said, I think I need to do something in honor of my sister friend. And I put together a show that chronicles her life from Pittsburgh, where she was born, all the way to Broadway and beyond. And it's called Old Friend. Allison Williams sings tribute to the legendary Phyllis Hyman.
When are you going to do that again? Because I need to bring rock.
I want to do it. I want to do it again. During the pandemic, I did a very scaled down version with just myself and the incredible Nat Adderley Jr. If you're not familiar with who that is, you'll have to look up the Cannonball Adderley, name in jazz. But on his own, he was the writing partner and musical director for Luther Vandross for the length of his career. So that's the kind of that's the caliber of musician that I had the honor of doing Phyllis with, and we were able to get into the theater at Birdland, which was nobody was going into any venues, but thank God they were able to allow us to go in, and we filmed it, and so we want to do it again. But the next time we do it, we want to take it to the next level and really. Have a full-on orchestra with the full background singers. I've done it in many incarnations. I've done it in costume, out of costume, with dancers, without, telling the story. What I really like to do, and maybe there's someone there, Maria, because you are so well connected. I've been trying to make a reach out to Taraji P. Henson, also to Charlemagne. They have been partnering together with a lot of different things concerning mental health.
Yes.
And mental health issues. And what people may not know is Phyllis Hyman had been diagnosed manic depressive and had many different issues around that. But because, especially as Black people, we do not deal with our mental illness issues. Mm-hmm. And so people slip through the cracks. She chose not to take medication. She made certain choices that led her to the path of her own demise. But I think if we can present the issue through the Phyllis Hyman lens, someone that we all love for her, not only her singing, but her beauty and her just the way she presented herself, then that opens up a conversation without feeling that you're being beat over the head. And you also feel like, well, if someone like that can suffer in silence, supposedly, then maybe I don't have to. I can now find a way to break free of that. So I've been trying to partner with them so that we can take Phyllis, build it up, and put it out there, like I said, as a way to open that conversation through the music. So if anybody is out there listening, and I know they are, I'm trying to get together with the ones who are really, engulfed and rooted in the mental health issue arena. Please, I'm trying to find.
So we can get that going.
Yeah, she needs a grant too. They give out all these music grants called music and cultural grants.
Absolutely. She
definitely needs somebody to give her money for that, so that she could just take her show on the road. But the one thing I love about Allison can be in an after-hour spot. Allison can be on Broadway. Uh-huh. Allison can be in Martha's Vineyard, because one year we went to Martha's Vineyard to the jazz band to see her.
We made a whole road trip with like 30 people.
Yes, right? we did. We had a house and everything. Yep, and we went up there specifically. My friends, I was like, oh my God, Allison Williams is up here. So we all went to see Allison, and then we had a barbecue the next day. So Allison, and the things about Allison and Shayla, they could be they're never out of character. Right. They never think they're better than anybody else.
And they're accessible.
And they're accessible and always available. Maybe not when you want it right then and there, but they will make themselves accessible. And that's what makes them so big and huge in their spirit.
Which that kind of leads me to a question, Allison. At one, right, because every artist has this happen, but I don't know if this happened for you because your resume was so, long before you even got to Just Call My Name. So I want to ask you, what was the moment that someone went, that's her? And you knew that you was a star at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like that moment. She was a
star before that.
There's a moment that you walk in the room and they go, people there she is.
Staring at you.
Yeah, people start staring. Like, when did that happen to you?
It's funny because I, as I was saying earlier, even before we started, that I had suffered with some issues coming up in my various neighborhoods, being bullied and being looked down upon because I was different, because my parents kept me off the street because I had afternoon activities. Kids can be cool and kids can be mean. And I was at the brunt of a lot of that. So I think for me, I always felt somebody was looking at me and it was very uncomfortable. So I have to go back to the first time when I knew someone was looking at me and they were praising me, or they had something positive. It was for a positive, not like they were plotting my demise. So I guess it was around the time when we were doing high fashion. Obviously that was a group effort, but when when we first put out, like the first single wasn't Just Call My Name on the Raw album, it was Sleep Talk. So we had Sleep Talk, Raw, I Need Your Love. So we had all these club situations, but then Just Call My Name, once again, Vaughn Harper, there he is. Vaughn Harper takes the test press and starts playing it in rotation. And he's playing it in rotation at a very specific time. As Shayla can attest, there is a playlist freeze that takes place right before Thanksgiving and lasts all the way through the top of the year. If you're not Nat King Cole or the Kid or the Jackson 5, you're not getting nothing in. Or someone who has that kind of power behind them for new music. Mariah Carey's going to get played every year. Mm-hmm. So when he was playing Just Call My Name in heavy rotation during his Quiet Storm, that was unheard of because nobody else had the record. So people began to go to the record store when we had record stores, y'all. Let's think about it. Yes. We had record stores. Yes. And we could go there, we could buy records, and we could buy incense, and we could buy a dream book to tell us what numbers to play. Yes. We could buy everything. And people would
the velvet Zodiac posters.
Yeah, set up the atmosphere.
I had a moment right there. But anyway, people were saying, do you have this song called Just Call My Name? And the people behind the counter were like, what are you talking about? We don't have it, honey. So the song didn't really get its official release to all stations until January. But it had already been broken. Thank God for Vaughn Harper.
Yeah, that was huge.
I think it was around that time when I realized people recognized me and they could say, oh, there's Allison Williams. Or, things used to happen for me like this. I was living in Detroit for a minute. And I was at the place where you pay your cable. I had to go to pay cable bill. And there were 3 guys, they must have been about 5 people behind me. And they were having a conversation about, I think that's Allison Williams. So they were talking. And finally one of them said really loud, like, well, what do you think Allison Williams will be doing here? You know what I'm saying? And people would do things like that. They'd yell out and they whatever. Or when I would go home from the road, I used to like to go to the state fair. And so my cousins would come and get me. And I'd just be happy at the state fair, eating popcorn, playing games. And they would be walking slightly behind me, not because they had to, but they were watching other people recognize me. And I was totally oblivious. I was at the fair. And if you weren't gonna come and say something, what? How do I know?
Right.
I'm oblivious to this, attention. And they would just be walking behind me going, she don't even know who she is. She's just, she's just eating funnel cake. She's just eating funnel cake.
Yes, at the state fair. Yeah, girl, that funnel cake is good. With the white powder that get all over the place. But people know you eat funnel cake because you have white powder all over you.
Funnel cake, cotton candy, candy apples, popcorn, all of that stuff. If I look at it now, y'all be like this.
Come back.
Like, what happened to Allison?
I fall right out of the picture. I don't even know what it was. But it was, those are the kind of things, those simple things that give me joy. And
so like Allison, how was it coming up? How was your childhood? Were you a lonely child?
Were you born in Harlem also?
I was born and raised in Harlem.
Okay. Where was you born at? What hospital?
There was okay, I'm gonna tell you what hospital. You know that big high rise that's on 110th Street and Lenox Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay, right around the corner from where the Black Unicorns used to have their motorcycle club. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, right next to this tall high rise, there was a private building. It's still there, and in that building was the home of a private hospital called Italian Hospital, and that's where I was born.
Get out of here!
Italian Hospital.
Italian Hospital was a private hospital. My mother's best friend, Aunt Nita, called her and said, what are you doing? My mother said, well, I'm washing some clothes in the bathtub. She said, but I think my water might have broke. She said, let me come and get you. And we lived on 111th Street and 8th. And so this was just 2 blocks over. So that's where I went. There were no other mothers in there at that time. They had their babies and were on their way out when my mother came in. So I was there by myself. So when I was born, apparently the story is they got ready. She went into labor. It wasn't very long. And the doctor turned around to get something, and I came out, and he caught me before I hit the ground.
Oh, sweat.
Yeah.
Oh, sweat.
And the anesthesiologist looked at my mother and looked at the doctor and just put the cone over her face and then lifted it off. Because he couldn't get paid without it. I was here. It was like,
Oh, he had to make sure he could bill. He had to make sure he could bill.
It has been that kind of shenanigan from the very beginning. I was born in an Italian hospital. They never would leave me in the nursery. The nurses had taken one of those things that you put in and out papers in. You know, the little things that you have on the desk.
Oh, yeah.
And they had made it into a cradle, into a bag, whatever. And they would have me in there. And my mother said she would go and get up at night, go to look for me. And I'd be in the office and they'd be in there drinking coffee doing what nurses do.
You'd be on the desk.
Just talk.
You on the desk.
In the paper bin.
In the paper bin,
That's
just
crazy.
looking around with grown people having conversations. And nobody ever baby talk to me. They never did. It was always Allison, so-and-so, girl, child, blah, 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 yada, yada. And that's how I grew up. I never had that other thing. So I was always I was a kid, but I was mature for my age because I was around older people. I was 10 years, I'm 10 years younger than my sister, so they didn't even see me coming. I know I was an oops baby. Nobody waits 10 years. So all of my cousins were 10 and 15 years ahead. So I spent a lot of time with my mother and my father, and I was around nothing but musicians. My childhood was charmed, but it was split down the middle. So here I was going to the jazz festivals. I was going to the gigs. I was able to hang out with Honey Coles and all of the different women who used to work at the Cotton Club and all these people who had great history, and especially being African Americans and being in show business. But then when I was at home, any of the kids that were like the kids in my building, my neighborhood, that didn't fly. I was the geek. I was like, and we're gonna get her because we realized she's not gonna come back at us. Right. She's not. She goes to Catholic school. She's no.
Do you play any musical instruments behind that?
Excuse me?
Are there any musical instruments that you play besides singing?
I play piano and I play enough to work with my writing. My father obviously wanted to teach me trumpet, and my mother naysayed it, only to come back to me as an adult and say, "I'm so sorry." I said, "Well, what are you sorry for, Mom?" She said, "I wish I had not deterred your dad from teaching you the trumpet because you would be a different musician now if I hadn't done that. But I just felt that wasn't for girls and I blah, 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 blah." And I was probably mad at him that day. So I just said what I said, but at least she came to terms with it. I'm just glad that she, in her lifetime, recognized that trumpets were not something that shouldn't be for girls.
Right. Which would have been an incredible, and you don't see a lot of girl trumpet players either.
Any instrument that a child, male or female, can gravitate to, give them that support, whether they want to go into music as a vocation or not, it will help to broaden their horizons.
Wow.
I was watching, the only trumpet player I knew was Sly Stone's sister Cynthia.
Oh, right.
Damn, that's right. She damn sure did play the. She played the trumpet.
Yes, his sister played the trumpet.
Cynthia was on the horn.
That's right. Damn, you're absolutely right.
And then she did. Then we followed Allison around. We were all at the cellar, but we went to at the after hour spots, the Mark IVs, and that's how we came up.
Okay.
People don't do that kind of stuff.
The Mark IV wasn't an after hour spot. It was a regular club. It was just open real late.
Yeah.
But you all followed me. Y'all followed me too.
Everywhere.
Through Stella, through McHale's, through Sweetwater's, through y'all just it was like I had a following. And we were all doing what we were doing. Maria was modeling. That's the house of where Keith Sweat came from with Jamila. That's where Johnny Kemp came from with the Kinky Box. We all played that room. And the cellar just birthed so many really talented, uber talented songwriters and singers and people who are still doing it in the music industry today. So it was a great proofing ground and a great jump off point for a lot of our careers. Now the after hour spots, I can't really remember all the names of them because what you do in an after hour spot will cause you to have memory lapse later in life.
Absolutely.
So don't expect me. I remember one.
She winked when she did that too.
I remember.
She's like, yeah.
DJ Starsky's dad or his godfather named Thunderbird Johnny. This was way uptown. He had a place called Thunderbird Johnny's. I remember that.
Wasn't it the Round Table?
I remember their locations, but I can't remember all the names of them.
Wasn't Gusto the Round Table? Wasn't that in the Bronx?
It wasn't an after-hour spot though, Maria. It was.
Well, they stayed there till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that didn't. Okay.
They just didn't close. That's all.
It just didn't close. It wasn't legitimately. There were places that were legitimately like you couldn't go between 10 p.m. before 12 midnight. You couldn't go. That's an after-hour.
Yeah, Jordan, you good? 3 o'clock they open up. Yeah,
serving, serving a pork chop and some brown liquor. That's a bar.
She said a pork chop.
Right. So my definition of after-hour spots was tainted.
Yes.
I thought that.
Well, yeah, but then you have to realize you were going after you finished your shift at the cellar, so it was after.
So for you, it was after hours.
Right.
Yeah.
But those were the good old days. Melissa Morgan was there.
It was.
Everybody was in there.
Okay.
Everybody.
Melissa.
Yes,
And
Melissa.
Look, and all the radio personalities went into the cellar. Everybody was
at the cellar.
The
That's right.
basketball team was there. Everybody,
Yes.
Nick and Val would come to there. Every time I had a birthday party,
Shaka Khan.
that Stevie Wonder
Yeah.
was coming through. His birthday is 2 days after mine. So it just made my birthday parties so special.
All the judges came in there.
So like
all the judges, everybody.
So like the New York Knicks were there?
Yes, everybody was there, honey.
This is an ultimate networking spot.
Oh, the cellar restaurant. And then I started giving parties there. I was a bartender, waitress. Then I did my first party with the with Keith and Hank Shockley. And that's where what's his name with the backpack? Oh my God, he's gonna kill me.
Q-Tip?
No.
I tried.
Nope, not Q-Tip.
PM Dawn? I don't know who had a backpack.
No. Oh Lord. I'm a think.
Lays Elliott
A
said this.
promoter?
No, an artist. Buckshot.
Okay.
Oh, Buckshot Shorty.
Yeah, why Lays ain't calling?
He said this
He
is
was on the Zoom.
amazing.
He was on the Zoom.
She needs a book.
She does.
Oh, the book
Allison
coming.
and Shayla too. Shayla needs a book about her life in radio.
We need Global Boardwalk Media Publishing.
Publishing
Write all
house.
these books.
Right.
Nah, you definitely need a book, Allison, and Shayla also.
That's 2 homework assignments for you.
you just pile it on the work, ain't you?
Tell me that beautiful introduction that you gave. I need you to email me those pages.
So Allison, I want to ask you a question. This is not music
Yes.
industry, so we were all very concerned about
How? What do you mean?
Pray tell. What are you talking about, Maria?
So on my show I do talk about health. So my own health battles. I'm an AIDS survivor of 20 plus years. AIDS Walk New York, Sunday, May 15th. I'm gonna shout that out. And then my day party, my AIDS Walk day party, which I was supposed to have this Sunday, will be the next Sunday on the 24th. So I want y'all to come to the day party. But so Allison, I don't know if you want to share with us or not, because you could probably help somebody that might be that
Need help.
I have absolutely. Well, first of all, where's the day party gonna be? Don't just throw something in the air.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna text you. It's gonna be in Harlem at my friend's comedy spot.
Comedy in Harlem.
Comedy in Harlem.
I'm just saying, you might as well tell some people why you got their attention right now.
Yes,
You just
comedy
threw it
in-
out there like-
Comedy in Harlem. I'm gonna come up with the address, and then Mad Wednesdays at the Shrine. Everybody know where the Shrine is. 133rd and 134th.
Hey, listen, promote yourself.
You funny.
On the serious tip, I don't mind sharing, and before I even share, Maria, I just want to thank you and your whole family there for lifting me up and holding me up when I was down. I had a pretty serious health scare in December on the 26th, and I returned back to life on January 1st, 2022. And in between that time, what I found out once I came back to reality, y'all were holding Zoom prayer meetings.
Yes, we were.
And all kinds of
Deirdre Fisher Kemp helped me put it together.
Consecrations. Y'all.
We was consecrating in there, and then we had Therese. We was praying, and after she praying, she said, "Allison, get your ass up. You play too much. Get up." But the crazy part was Allison was, she was in a state of sleep. And so we were all like, Allison, wake up. We were on Zoom talking about Allison, wake up. And now they edited it, Darius Booker, and we sent it to her for her to hear.
Oh, wow.
They cracked jokes.
And every time I look at it, it's just amazing because I could not have been aware of what was going on. I have type 2 diabetes, and shout out to all the people with diabetes. And I pray that you are diligent in your not only managing your diabetes, but trying to find roads to eradicate your diabetes, because it is not an illness that we have to live with. I'll go into more later on another time. But between my diabetes and COVID, they kind of got together and they would not play nicely. And the COVID, I'm a vaccinated person. They could save me from the COVID, but the ketoacidosis, which is something that can happen to a diabetic, is very dangerous and can be very life-threatening. So I was in a coma, or as I like to call it, the comma, because the comma is a pause in a sentence. So during my comma, I was put on a ventilator, and the nation went to praying, is all I can tell you. From around the world, across the country, in neighborhoods, up and down the street. And I can tell you that all of it was certainly instrumental in my healing. Valerie Simpson had gotten a message to the hospital and said, play her music in her ear. She'll hear it. She'll come back. Because I wasn't responding. They didn't think I was going to come off the ventilator because I just wouldn't respond. And sure enough, they played my music in my ear and I heard it and I responded. And then, like I said, once I was able to get home, they sent me all of the footage of what you all, had put together for me. And people were yelling, get up, wake up. Or if they didn't know what to do and they were concerned, they didn't know what my outcome was going to be. Other people were calling one another and holding each other up. They were praying with each other. People were talking to people that they had stopped talking to and couldn't remember why they didn't talk to them no more. People were talking to people that they just hadn't talked to in a long time and holding them up and saying, if you can't do nothing, just say her name. Just say, you could be sitting on the couch looking at the TV, just call her name, and it will do something. You have to lift her up, and it did. And if I had to get sick in order for all of that to come together, for people to get on one page and one accord, then maybe that is why God has made me a walking, talking, singing testimony and a miracle, because it didn't have to be. The only thing, people will say, the devil's a liar and he's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, I don't even give him that much credit. And I know I might begin to sound repetitive, but sometimes God sets you down. Sometimes God slows you down so you can focus, because He's got something for you and He wants you to be able to pay attention, see it, get it, and act upon it once He puts it in front of you, because you're going to need everything in order to see it through. And I believe that's what happened in my case. And like I said, if it made everybody come together as a community like that, that was not only powerful for me, but it was powerful for each and every person. When I talk to people, little by little, I'm getting to the hundreds of people that have talked or posted or sent a message or a text. And the first thing they said is, oh my God, I'm so glad to hear your voice. Not only do they say the exact words, but they say it in the exact same way, with the same energy. I envision people on the phone, they seem like they're going like this. I don't know why they're doing this. Everybody said, oh my God, I'm so glad. Thank you, Father. I'm so glad to hear your voice. To put everybody on one accord like that is very powerful. Yes. So there's obviously some very powerful work that I'm still supposed to be here to do. And there's many people say, I'm going to check on so-and-so more often. Or I'm going to start this. Or I'm going to go to the doctor and make sure that I'm being proactive with my health. I'm going to make some of other decisions. So it caused a lot of things to happen while I was laying still. A lot of things.
You know what's so funny?
What that is.
Darius called me and said, I spoke to Allison. I said, I know damn Allison ain't speak to you before she spoke to me. So then I hurried up and I called Allison. She was like, Maria. I said, Lord, I done called the woman and she ain't even woke up good yet. I was like, I just want to hear your voice.
But the beautiful thing about the prayer call, at least the one that I popped on, it seemed to be people from like all walks of your life. They were people you went to school with.
And I didn't even know the people.
Business.
I didn't even know the
there
people.
Were people sitting on the call line that said they were having a fun watching y'all because y'all are show business people. But those are my friends that I've been with since first grade.
Since first grade.
There's a whole contingency of folks that went to All Saints, and we did that 8-year bid together, and then we continued to stay together. Shout out to my best friend Carolyn Nobles and that whole family.
Yes.
Carolyn lost her mother today, and I have to talk to her the minute I get done with you. But I'm talking about people who have known each other since they was wearing name tags and holding hands. They was there. And they might not have said a whole lot, but they were watching y'all and watching how y'all came together as a community in my name.
And it was so funny. I just thought about, I was like, what can I do? I said, let's have a prayer Zoom.
Right.
And then I called Deirdre Fisher Kemp and I said, Deirdre, I want to do a prayer Zoom. And then we was like, who we going? I said, I don't know none of her friends. And then I called Darius. And so Darius sent it out. But her friends from first grade
were popping in.
What they found out that we were doing a prayer Zoom and they felt that no robbery. They didn't know who the heck I was, but they was like, we thank you just for putting this together.
Right.
That we are all able to come through. And I'm some of your friends, your people is like, when we do a cookout every year, we do, but Maria, we want you to come to the cookout. You family now.
A lot of them know you though, Maria, because they've been with me since first grade, then they done been through the cellar and to the after hours spot.
Yeah.
They know.
Big shout out to Lazy Lays in the house from MOP.
Yes, Lazy, I love you.
My man Lays popped in. He's watching from the car right now.
Rob Love is in the building on Facebook.
Big shout out to Rob Love.
Yes,
What's up, Rob?
Shout out to Rob Love. Rob Love says he's so happy to see you, Allison.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to be seen.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really want to share with you is that when I came, I think we all handle our lives at certain points in time similarly. And when I say that, I mean very basic things like, okay, it's fall, the kids are getting ready to go back to school. It's this, It's the holidays, we look forward to the top of the year and how we're going to spring clean our lives or, get on top of whatever we need to get on the good foot. And whatever that was going to look like coming out of a 2-year pandemic that we're still not out of. So in my mind, I had a lot of plans. I had a lot of things on the board, on the drawing table, and I was thinking, and then if I had to describe it, it all looked like zeros and ones, just like data. Just like, how they show that on TV, that, when they're looking and they're saying, oh my God, someone's hacking. You just see all these zeros and ones. Mm-hmm. It was like that in my mind. I was trying to figure out how you're going to get to point A, from point A to point B, blah, 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 blah. When I came off of the ventilator, when I tell you I've experienced a clarity like you can't believe, and it's odd for me too. I know exactly what I need to do. I know how I need to do it. I know who I need to call. I know how I want to put it together. The book, I've been thinking about a book for the longest. I now know how to start the book. I know what to put in it and what to leave out and how to formulate it. I didn't have that before. I had the idea and I had the content, but how to was the question. That's not a question anymore.
I have a question.
It's all those things.
I have a question about
There's the One Woman Show. There's the documentary. There's the biopic. The story has come.
Yes.
I've come to because of this situation where I can start to tell my story authentically, and I remember everything that happened to me while I was asleep. And I haven't heard.
That's what I wanted to ask you about just now.
Wait a second. Ahead. When I called her, she told me, Maria, I heard y'all. I was like, what? She said, I heard y'all. She said, you might have thought I was asleep, but I heard y'all telling me to come back. I was like, and it's so funny because when we did the Zoom, I said, this chick is going to have another story. I said, God done gave her another mission because she going to have another piece to the story that was probably missing.
Right.
And people look at illness sometimes as, like she said, the devil's busy, but sometimes it's not the devil. Sometimes it's God saying, I need you to stop because I need you to focus on something different.
Right.
And so...
And that was kind of the question I was going to ask you, Allison. From the time that you went unconscious to the time that you became conscious again, was it instant or were you kind of aware of time and things that were going on around you?
I don't think think I was so much aware of time, but I was aware of everything that was going on, and I kept trying to get people to understand that I'm in here. Y'all know, it was like walking around in your body, but your body is giant. Like, suppose I was the size of the Statue of Liberty, minus the base, and I'm up in the eyes of the Statue of Liberty, and those are really my eyes.
Right.
It's the statue of Allison, and I'm looking through my own eyes, and I can see everybody doing their thing. Of course, I know that things are going on. It's a dream state, but I remember all of the scenarios, and I remember the doctors and nurses, and when they would come in and what they would say, and I just remember it as clear as day, and I remember hearing certain people and certain things. I remember when I came out, it was a couple of things I had to I had some experiences in my dream state that I thought were reality when I came out, and I was a little nervous because I was like, if this is really what's happening, I wish somebody would fill me in because I want y'all to know I already know. You know what I'm saying? Right. So just tell me what's going on. There was some things going on with our government that I thought we had gone to war. Oddly enough, just the war happened 2 months later and it was the Ukrainian people. Right. But I knew there was conflict. I dreamt that there was conflict, and we were in the center of it. And just different things. Like I said, time was a little jumbled for me. But as the medication comes out of your system, as you come back to yourself, you start realizing what's real and what's what wasn't. But the thing is to remember it, and remember it in color and in HD. I got it. I got it.
Yeah, because I think that's important that Valerie Simpson said, hey, you know what? Play her music for her. Like, she's in there.
And I remember the woman, the nurse saying with her phone in her hand, Miss Williams, do you hear this? Do you know who this is? And clear as day, I looked at her and said, hell yeah, I know who it is. Do you? Tell anybody I'm in here? I know that I couldn't have done any of that, but on the inside, that was my response. On the outside, I was like,
it was nothing. Wow, that's crazy.
Right. All I could do was nod, and if I thought I was going like this, I clearly was pointing at my neighbor with my thumb because I had no motor skills. I was still, I just opened my eyes, but I knew who it was, and I looked at her and I was nodding my head. But inside of me, I was like, yes, it's me. What? Right. Finally.
Right. Wow.
But the people in the ICU ward had no idea of basketball, just call my name or anything. All they knew was that they were getting an onslaught of calls. People were showing up. People reused every one of my relatives except for my mother and father. They were cousins, they were sisters, they were brothers, they were grandparents, they were aunts, they were uncles. They were trying to get into the hospital. They were calling. They were trying to find out what the prognosis was. They were trying to give ideas. The nurses were like, just please let us do our job.
Yes.
But they didn't know, he didn't know I was a public figure. And I'm down here in North Carolina. They had no clue. They were like, what's up with this chick?
Right. Why is she getting so much public attention?
While I was under.
Wow, crazy. That's great.
People get the caravans to drive down here. If I drive all the way down, they're going to let me see her. People were invested like that. And I'm so blessed to be able to laugh at it now, but I know that it was a time of true concern.
Yeah.
And shout out to Audrey Wheeler, because Audrey Wheeler kept us all, what we needed to do. Like people were saying, I'm going down there. Audrey was like, please do not go down there.
Please don't go down.
Please don't go down there. Wait and hear what the family and the people who are making the decisions, they will give us what we need to know. Guidance. And so we had to tell people, don't go down. You can't go down. Just go down there and do. What are you going to go down there and do? They're not going to let you in the hospital.
People were on alert like that. That's how, and they needed someone to release that energy. And I understand it. I think the thing that I come away with most, and I keep saying this anytime someone asks me, I'm very aware of the love that I have, whether it's friends, family, fans, supporters, people I've met, people who only know the sound of my voice through my music, because I think I've always tried to give love and try to be a receptacle of love. I want to receive love. So I think I understood the love, although it is quite overwhelming to see it in action. But because of, especially over the last few years, we've all been living a very oh, we have to deal with this. Oh, we have to really buck up. Oh, this is serious. Oh, it's more serious than they even told us. Oh, this one died. Oh, that one didn't make it. Are you serious? It was my this. It was so-and-so's that. And then we had to, because of what this pandemic stole, this evil plague made us not be able to mourn or grieve or bury or be present. We couldn't do any of those things. So we had started getting into that thing where we just keep it moving. So I always felt like anything can happen. We don't know the time of the hour, but people would keep moving. I guess I felt that I was loved, but I didn't know that my not being here would impact other people's lives. So it makes a difference when you now know that you matter. I know I matter. And I didn't know that. It wasn't
you always mattered. You always mattered to us. You always mattered.
But you don't think about that when you're living, especially in these times that we're living in. And, I have challenges. When I first came up with the hospital, I couldn't move my arms. I was like this little T-Rex. I couldn't do anything because this was painful. It's not as painful anymore. And I'm so glad to be able to do it. And every day I can do it a little bit more. And I just raise my arms every morning. The first thing I do is raise my arm. I have something, maybe it's neuropathy or something, or what atrophy, whatever you call it, in my shoulders. And I have a physical therapist and I work with that. I have a speech therapist. I have a little challenge that is the same kind of challenge a person who might have had a mini stroke or a slight stroke. I didn't have a stroke. I did not have a stroke, but I have some weakness on the right side of my mouth. And so my D's and my T's sometimes sound like a 4-year-old, and I get it, but I have to work on that. And every day I have marked improvement. I can sing with no problem. When I open my mouth, God kept my voice right here. He didn't let nothing affect. And that's weird. How do you have issues with certain words, but when you sing words, there's no challenge? That's a miracle. That's God's grace.
Amen. You got to clap for that one.
Hold on. I'm going to give it the horns, too. Hold on. There you go.
Give it a sparkle. Give it the black girl magic.
Wait, let me see. Black girl magic. Hold on, let me see. Wait.
You don't even know your buttons.
Y'all been frozen for the last 5 minutes, Maria and Denise, but in a really nice way.
We frozen?
She said in a really nice way.
Don't do nothing on your end, because my technology is crazy. I want to get a screenshot of it because it's really fun. It's really
we might be frozen. Yeah, but you can still hear us.
Wait.
I think we're unlocking. Hold on, are we unlocking?
Rob Love said, "Yes, you do. Yes, you do matter." Allison, Rob Love said, "Yes, you do matter."
Yes, she does.
Keith Mo Johnson said he can relate.
Thank you so much.
Keith Mo Johnson said he can relate. That he had surgery where doctors could not wake him up. He was in a deep sleep, and his sister played Earth, Wind, and Fire music, and he woke up.
Wow. The power of music. A good friend of mine that I grew up with in my Haven projects, Keith. I love Keith. He's a big supporter. But, it's so funny that we're so busy in our days and what we're doing that we don't take the time to call each other. And when I heard the news about Allison, I was like, oh my God, I didn't talk to Alley Cat in like a month. We supposed to be doing something together. And that just took me into, you need to call people that you love. Even if it's just for 2 seconds. Now, I'm not talking about texting on the phone. I'm not talking about sending somebody a message during an Instagram. I'm talking about physically actually calling people and asking them, how are you doing? That's what I'm talking about. What, you going somewhere? Oh. You was crying. You crying.
This is a good show. It's touching. It's touching. I'm sorry.
He's been wiping his eyes for about an hour. I'm like, Rock, it's okay. Do we need to put you over our shoulder and pat you on your back?
No, you're right.
Are we still frozen?
Yeah,
Allison?
we still frozen.
You're still frozen on my screen.
No, we're
frozen on our own broadcasting screen too. Well, good
and
thing
the funny thing is, Shayla is in her box just laughing.
Yeah, Shayla's cracking up laughing at us.
Shayla's laughing at us.
Shayla.
Yeah, but you are frozen down.
But you know what? I am so glad that I do have this podcast so I can get to talk to my friends like Shayla and Allison.
And you've just been learning stuff that you never knew before.
I've been learning stuff that I never knew about. my dear friends. And that's how you know when you're a friend, when you are able to talk about, you're able to share things. And that's the interesting thing about being friends, that we can learn each and every day. I don't care how old you are. I tell people, never take your age for granted, because as long as you breathing and you can hear and you can see, you can learn.
That's right.
Amen.
And when you have real good friends, they can tell a story about you and leave with. You can find Allison in our spot. Well, like, why would she leave with that?
Because I want them to know.
That's gonna make the book all the more interesting.
Yes.
They don't want to hear about those stories. That was the funniest thing anybody ever said in a real long time over here.
That's a good frozen position, though.
I don't think it's good for me.
You frozen
I'm
laughing.
in the middle of a laugh.
And I'm frozen looking serious.
It's a good freeze. It's a good freeze.
I teach kids, I said, you all want to be hard, you want to be street, you want to keep it real, you want to do all of this, but you have to learn how to sit with kings and killers.
Yes.
If you really want to somewhere. So uptown and downtown, and understand where it's appropriate and learn the difference. And have the courage to be different when everybody else is going one way. You might have to take it another way. It might not be the popular way, but don't it's a lesson, that it's a life lesson. The one thing I want to say to your listeners and viewers, I'm going to be starting first of all, thank you to everyone who participated in the GoFundMe that my friends put together. It was extremely helpful and continues to be. But I'm in the midst of putting together my 501k, and I'm starting a school. I'm starting an Institute of Higher Learning down here in the Carolinas, but I will also be coming around and doing, pop-up curations in various parts of the country and hopefully around the world. The MVP Institute, Music, Visual, and Performing Arts Institute, training up the next generation of MVPs, most valuable players. If you sing, it's singing, it's music, it's dance, it's all genres of music, hip hop included. It's radio production and film, digital film formats. It's painting and sculpting and wood and metal. And if you want a horticultural situation or sustainable farming or culinary skills, I have a place that can facilitate all of that. And I know that I'm going to need help in order to make it come into reality. So when you see me come, and I'm looking for whatever it is that you can pour into it. You might not have $2, but you might be able to point me to somebody that does. Yeah. Or maybe you're an artist that wants to come down and do a master class or lecture or performance. We're looking to put all that together, and it's going to happen, because that's one of the things that got laid out just before the lights went out. The lights went out on December 26th. It came back on January 1st, and it all had just, I can't even begin to tell you.
Mine is racing. Mine is racing. Where's Lays at? Because OSG would be a great platform for her also off school grounds. Is Lays still there? Or did he leave?
I think he left the room.
That's all right. We can get Allison to come on the OSG onto their podcast and
just if you're not aware, OSG is off school grounds, and it's a coalition of principals all over the country.
Yeah, 100 plus.
Yeah, that came together to create this network of principals and this camaraderie of principals all over the country. They support each other. Some principals that write books and stuff. Like, it's really a great and a very active organization. That even Shayla, you too, you should come into OSG.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check it out. It's a real positive movement, and it's all these black principals that came together all over the country.
And young black women. Yeah. They invited me to the brunch at the Taj, and I was like, principals? And when I got there, I said, whoa, they must be letting their hair down for the kids' behavior. They partied, and then Principal Akbar.
Right.
From Newark, New Jersey.
Who's been on Oprah and Ellen.
Yes.
And The Amazing Race.
Yes, right. and because his students were not coming to school because their clothes weren't being cleaned and people were making fun of them. So he decided to put a laundromat in the school. And so that changed the whole trajectory of the kids coming to school because now they had clothes. Then his family was cooking for the kids, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Spending their own money, making sure that, you got to a child can't come to school and get an education if you're not meeting those necessities that they need, which is food, right? They living in shelters.
Yeah.
They don't have no internet service in the shelters, which they found out during COVID when they was giving the kids the laptop. The kids at home was getting them lessons, but the kids in the shelter, they didn't have no broadband. And then you have kids, you in the shelter, so there's no cooking situation. So you come into school hungry. And so he made it that the kids could wash their clothes, get meals, whether they took them home because they didn't have adequate kitchen facilities to cook the food. And I mean, I just think that was an amazing thing. And then he put a Capital One bank in the school, which the kids in the school work the bank.
They run the bank.
Yes. And so I just think I'm so happy to be a part of OSG. They done made me a family member, but I also brought another young brother who used to bring me artists named Diani Marte. And he got in a little trouble, domestic violence, and he started a daughter and daddy spa.
Right.
So he has a spa out in Long Island City.
What I would like to do, guys, I like to show them one of the schools.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Right? This is one of the principals of OSG.
Yes.
I'm gonna play this.
Principal
Hold on for 1 second.
Akbar.
No, this is Akbar. This is
that's
Allison. Hold on.
Okay.
Listen, spread love the research way. Today I have my wonderful team in here. We are chefing it up for our honor roll children. We're doing a soul food luncheon, fried fish, fried chicken. We got turkey wings. We got macaroni salad. We got double stuffed sweet potatoes. We got macaroni and cheese, and of course a bear. It's only apple juice though.
Now, just so you guys know, that's actually inside Boys and Girls High School because they've chopped the schools up to subsidiary schools.
Right.
And that school is called Research and Development. That principal made a full-blown kitchen in the school that the kids learn culinary arts. She made a full-blown production studio with 16 stations where the kids are making beats and stuff and producing music. And with those same 16 computers, she made a whole gaming thing in that same room.
Wow.
She has a pantry on the third floor because her school's on the third floor. All you got to do is sign up and you can go and get food. The kids go in there and they shop. And it's a full-blown, it's like a grocery store, really.
Wow.
Fully stocked with food. She's like Akbar, very progressive, you know what I'm saying? And and these are the kids that are like the sort of like the problem kids, you know what I'm saying? And her whole style, first of all, she sits in the hallway at a table. That's her desk.
Get out.
Oh yeah, you can just walk up to her and just talk to her, just straight up. Like the kids just walk up and if they have any issues, they talk to her directly. There's no office door. It took me 2 years to realize that this was her desk. I said, Allison, why are you always sitting in the hallway? She said, this is where I work. This is it. So she's a very hands-on principal. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of kind of what these principals are about. They are about their students and they're about their education.
Yes, shine.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we have to get you and
Lays together. So Lays, before he left the Zoom, he said, "What an amazing individual! The power of resilience. God bless you, sis. Rock and Maria, please keep us posted on the Queen's journey because I'm invisible. So just Rock and Maria, Rock and Maria, please keep us posted on the Queen's journey. Have a good night."
Wait a minute, let me tell you what's so funny. Deneen was not supposed to be the host, so Deneen is encouraging me, Maria, you need to start your podcast. I call up Rock. I'm like, Rock, because I'm out his studio. Rock, I guess I'm ready to do the podcast. Then I tried to change the date. Deneen looked at me like, it's now or never. And so then I said, well, I need a host. I need a co-host.
I'm driving on my way because, Marie, I have my own marketing company and Marie is my first client. So I'm just going to be supportive for my client. La, la, la. lie. She's like, well, you got to be on there with me. I'm like, what? I don't speak to people.
Yes.
She's like, well, I don't want to be sitting here by myself talking. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, we got Rock sometimes. It's incredible when Rock comes on. But I think that we all three make a great team. You know, Rock be interrupting me. Thank God Lays didn't get on. Because Lays get on and he take the whole show over. And then I'm not the host no more.
Right.
It's the Lays, Elliott, Rock, and Deneen show. Featuring Maria Davis when they allow me to speak.
And Denise's coming into her own because when she first started, she was all shy.
Yeah.
She tried to be invisible and stuff, and she wouldn't really talk. And now she's on it now.
Who is it you talking about with Shy?
Deneen,
that's sitting right here.
Deneen, I thought you said when Maria came on.
Oh hell no! Maria ain't nothing. There ain't a shy bone in Maria's body.
Yes, it is. I'm shy sometimes.
But invisible. We see you and we feel you.
But you know that is the power of friendship because. Deneen and I and Gwen had a meeting, I think in 2019, right before we closed for Miss COVID. And COVID got to be a woman because we wreak havoc, you know. COVID done wreak havoc. Even on Mayor Adams, who tried to like play it down, oh, I'm the mayor.
And now
I said, COVID, you ain't the mayor with COVID. COVID don't care. All it do is look for bodies.
That's it.
And so I said, I'm not doing nothing. I need to write my book. And Deneen and Gwen was like, we starting our marketing company, brand elevation marketing. And I was like, you think y'all could work with me? And then we got shut down. And I was like, what am I going to do? I'm not making no money, no Mad Wednesdays. And they were like, well, you going to get on Zoom. You going to do something. Don't stop.
We going digital.
Right, we going digital. And they do my fly. I'm just so blessed to have Gwen and Deneen that I always knew during the music industry, but we were tight, but we are tight now. Yeah. And so that is the beauty of having great friendships. Shayla, always available for whatever. Allison, always available. You know, when she moved from New York, I was a little upset. I had to find out so I was like, you live in North Carolina? What happened? But you know something? They need you in North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, we have so much accessibility in New York City. So we need to spread our gifts and our crafts to other people that may not have the same accessibility. So
and it's so funny because
I just wanted to say to Allison, you know, your testimony is amazing.
Yes.
And I'm going to take an excerpt of this and play it on the air tomorrow because I think people need to know that with your testimony is proof that God is alive and active.
Ooh,
I'm concerned about you. Your testimony about how God showed mercy to you will bring his hope to others. And I think it's so important that people need to share their story because your story is going to be somebody else's survival guide.
Absolutely.
I'm sitting here listening to your story and I'm getting chills. So I know for somebody who's actually going through what it is that you went through, they can benefit so much by hearing your story. So it will be told.
And that's all God wants us to do is spread the word. He wants us to be examples. So people can go, oh, yeah.
And people can know that you can recover if you believe you can.
Right.
That's right.
You can't recover because I know Allison was over there battling in my head. It ain't over. It ain't over. And we was out on the outside saying, it ain't over, God. Not that one. Right. We don't want you to choose nobody else. Well, you can't have her. Right. Please, God, you can't. And I was in my house talking about, God, not her. God, not her. Not her. Maybe might be somebody else's turn, but it ain't her turn yet because she has too much to do. And we believed that. And we were believing it not only for you, but we were believing it for ourselves. Like we can't lose another sister. Not powerful as she is, because she still has her, more of her story to tell. And I'm just so grateful for you, Allison. I'm just so glad that God felt no robbery to keep you here with us so that we can experience each other a little bit longer. We all know we got to leave here one day, but not now.
And I'm thankful to be back and to be well.
Yes.
Yeah, and strong, and
yes.
You're healthy. You look healthy.
But things had changed, or it's different for everybody. So the fact, I use my voice and my mouth for my living. I speak. I'm on the radio, and I'm doing concerts, and I'm mistress of ceremonies. I need this. And he allowed that to continue. You know, I have to be able to stand straight and walk tall. He allowed that to be. I had to learn how to do it all over again, but he allowed that to be.
Right.
And
So I just wanted to ask something because we didn't really get into that. Was there a rehab time that you went through?
Absolutely. I spent a total of 2.5 weeks, I believe, in the hospital. But when I came home, of course, from February or from the end of the mid-January all the way until last weekend, the most exciting thing I've done is go to CBS. So I've been home.
She said the most exciting thing is going to see. Can you imagine that the small things can be exciting? We used to be in concerts and got to go to a party.
The first day when I had the physical therapist, the nurse made me sit on the side of the bed, and she brought me a walker, and I stood up and she said, "Okay, I want you to walk to me." And when I say walk to, I mean literally just from the bed to the wall, very short distance. And I went to moving my feet, and she's like, hey, I'm over here. I was veering to the right because, you know, everything wasn't back in sync.
Right.
But we got straight. And, you know, I was able to stop shuffling my feet and walk with a step. And every day, all I did was just play an invisible piano so I could keep my fingers going and keep my hands going. And I would keep doing my feet, point, flex, circling my ankles and my wrists and stuff, and trying to bend my legs and stuff. Because I knew that I wanted to get out of the hospital as soon as possible, but they weren't going to move me from ICU until they could see that I was mobile. And I had to learn all those things. I would try to push the button if I needed assistance. It'd take me 5 minutes to push the side of the button. I never did. I had to take this hand and help this hand get to it. So all of those physical things I had to bring back. The body is the most incredible thing, entity. I mean, and if the brain sends a message, everything we take for granted, every time I put my hands up and go like this, every time I blink, every time I swallow, every time I suck something out my tooth, that's, you know, that is the brain sending a message to that part of the body. And if it doesn't fire off that message right, if that music is not laid out right, for all your parts of your bodies, play all that music, you're not going to dance this dance called life. You're not going to dance not correctly. And we take all that for granted. The smallest motion. You know, every time you nod your head in agreement, that's your brain telling that part of your body what to do. And when you come out of certain situations, for instance, me being in a coma, those things are not all in place anymore. Wow. They're a little disjointed, and you have to work to get them back to where they need to be so you can function effectively.
And the whole...
So I had all of that.
And the whole way you have to say, thank you, God. When at times we forget, and I'm not saying this about nobody else, at times I forget to thank God. Right. Because we take when I was very sick, I was thanking God every day because I had the opportunity to see and to smell and, you know, all of those things that I didn't have. But then you get complacent. And so this is a reminder to me, you have to thank God every morning that you get up. That if you can get out the bed, if you can look up, if you can open your eyes, you are blessed. And those are the things that you're helping me that I need to be continuing to do every day.
All of us.
Yeah.
I thank him several times a day because I keep seeing things that I'm like, whoa, this was different then and it's different now. But it's good. It's good. It's good. I didn't have to come back strong. I didn't have to come back in my right mind. I didn't have to come back with my faculties in order. And I did.
Just a quick thing, Allison. Carl Brown says, love you, Allison, Shayla, Maria, Rock, Deneen from Carl Brown. What a powerful story. And we were praying hard.
Yes, they were.
Ooh,
they were.
I know.
And Deshaun and his wife.
And Deshaun, yeah.
Rob Love said, God, thank you for saving Grace. Sister Allison is not done with her work. Amen. Johnny Walker said, Allison Williams is a warrior in more ways than one.
Shout out to Johnny Walker.
Big shout out to Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny Walker. We have to find out about Johnny Walker because she wasn't feeling well either. So we want to make sure that she's feeling better also. Taking care of our sisters. Well, this I'm coming on April 23rd to Shayla's Sisterly Kiss. Absolutely.
Me too.
And we're gonna just be celebrating life. Every opportunity we can get out. I hope you will be coming, or maybe we need to come to you, Allison. Take a little road trip down there and just spend.
Well, I sent you a thing. I tried to send you something. Obviously, I'm going to come to New York in May for my birthday, celebrate my birthday. But
we're gonna be celebrating with you. When? May when?
May 12th.
And where you gonna be May 12th? Because we're gonna be there.
Sugar Bar.
Sugar Bar. I'll be in the Sugar Bar.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
But you know, you're gonna have to make a reservation, else you ain't have no place to sit.
Listen, I'm Maria Davis.
Now that I done said it out loud.
Allison.
I'm Maria Antoinette Davis.
Allison, I'm Maria Davis. Shayla, you want to come? I can get anybody in the Sugar Bar. You coming, right?
Hey, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I didn't say, Maria, I didn't say you couldn't get them in. I said you couldn't get them a seat.
That's all right. We don't need to sit to
Y'all
talk
will
to
be
you.
in and standing up with everybody else going, all
Yeah,
right.
it's like this.
You know, y'all be packed in like sardines. But this is what's going on. There's an organization that I sit on the board of as a founding member called I Love My Artist Foundation. And, you know, great people are members of it. Melanie Daniels and Mike Davis and Kelly Andre. And it's an organization put together by artists for artists. And we're doing our first ever soul Jazz Music Festival, which is a 3-day getaway to Albany, New York. If people go to souljazzmusicfestival.com, they can find out about it. It's going to be great. 3 days of concerts. Talent's going to be up there doing comedy. We're going to have music, movie nights. We got some LGBT situations that are going to, you know, movies and what have you. It's inclusive. And I sent it to you, Maria, because I know how you and your crew likes a road trip.
Yes, like we gonna road trip up there.
Y'all came up to Martha's Vineyard. I said, this is the perfect person. So I'll send it to you again.
Okay.
But like I said, it's April 22nd to the 24th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You don't want to miss it. And it's health and wellness as well, because we're going to have some seminars and workshops and, you know, breathing and yoga and, you know, anything you may want to participate in that's going to help you love on you, and including the music, which we know is a balm.
That sounds great.
That sounds very good. The unfortunate thing, on the 24th is my day party for the AIDS walk, but I might be able to go to 22nd.
Just come back the day before, Maria.
Okay. And then Mad Wednesdays is on the 20th. So I guess I can leave on third. You said the 22nd?
22nd to the
22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Okay,
That's a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday.
Okay.
You can have at least 2 days.
Yes, I
Or
can.
one.
I could come Friday and Saturday, and then come. I could do my stuff, my little writing and inviting people. So hopefully I'll be inviting them this weekend, so then I ain't got to worry about next week.
They flew up in the Martha's Vineyard so hard they still talk about y'all.
And
it was like a gang.
Yes.
It was like,
and the crazy part was, we took all of this food. We took all this food up there. I told them, because I had been to Martha's Vineyard, the Black Film Festival. I said, don't take a bunch of food, because you're going to wind up. At the last day we leaving, we up here trying to cook up, barbecue all the food. I said, I told y'all, everybody spent like $1,000
like
of
they
food.
were going to be there for for the whole summer. They came like they were residents of Martha's, but it was delicious. Everything was wonderful. You couldn't want for anything else. We were laying around with our bellies sitting on top of us.
And wait, Allison, what was that game you taught us to play? The penny? What was it? Penny something?
Oh, CLR.
Yes, CLR.
What's that?
So, this penny game she had us playing.
Game that you play with dollar bills or whatever denomination of money, and you have to give your money to the right, the center, or the left, according to what the dice. It's a great game. It's called.
It
CLR.
sure is, and I kept losing money, so I got out the game. I think I got
those games that makes people just talk trash. For, you know, like they playing with dollar bills, but they act like they playing with $1,000 chips. You know, it's crazy. We had a great time. And we fellowshiped. And like I said, Maria, you're one of those people, when it comes to let's get something together and go somewhere, you're the first person I send the invite to, because I know that's the crew you roll with. Y'all are fine getting on the bus. So we're having a party bus that's supposed to leave from in front of the Sugar Bar on the morning of the 22nd. And it's, you know, hosted by me. And we're going to go up to Albany and do our thing.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, this
you got to get your packages and all that.
so you send me that information. I'm put it up on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, Twitter, LinkedIn. But I want to thank y'all so much, you and Shayla, for being great. I'm honored. Shayla's still on and you still on. Thank you, God. And we as usual, we don't have enough time, but
I wanted to hear her story.
Shayla, listen, one day will you come on WHCR? Will you be one of my guests? So we can talk about women in radio, because I tried when I was trying to make my comeback. I decided March would be good because it's Women's Month. So I dedicated all the shows in March to women in film, television, and theater. And I had Lillias White, I had Esther Paper Murkison, I had Valerie Pettiford, I had Rolanda Watts, and the girls just came through so much so that, my theater, film, and television women, I'm going to have to parlay them over as an extension because there's so many of them. And we're so blessed right now. A lot of people are working. A lot of people have things to talk about, so they really wanted to come on. But I would love to have you come on the show and we chop it up about your experiences, because you pursued radio.
Yes.
I came into radio on the side, but I took communications in school, but I was being pulled so hard by the music. You know what I mean?
Allison,
but later on in life, it was a blessing to be able to, to come on and have a platform.
So Allison, how exactly did you transition from singing into acting and into radio?
Well, the acting was something that was always there, because when I was a kid, I always, for the few Black people that I could see that looked like me, that's what they were doing. So I thought that's what I was supposed to do: sing, dance, and act. When I could see a Pearl Bailey or a Lena Horne or Dorothy Dandridge or Lola Falana, I could see these people singing, dancing, and having opportunity on television or in films. So that's what I've always gravitated to, trying to find a workshop here or a scholarship there. And I was a dancer before I sang. I was a dancer of Harlem and many other companies. And that was my first actual entree into the business. My father having his own band, he had a 21-piece swing band. He was a trumpet player named Bobby Booker, and he was they were rooted in Harlem. That was their what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? That's where they rehearsed that. At the Kennedy Center there in Harlem. That was their mainstay. And they traveled all around, and so I came into the music and the theater and the dance, and I was always, always like, well, you got to have something other than show business. So I'm like, well, your DJs are your closest people. The DJ is the liaison between the listener and the artist.
Absolutely.
And so I could see that. And I said, maybe if I can get into radio, then I can get close to the singing industry. So it was like my plan B. Radio and television. And I knew that I wanted to do something like anchor or I wanted a mic in my hand. And when I ended up going to school, I was given a dance scholarship. And then they only had journalism. And I wasn't clear and focused and smart enough to realize, Allison, just take the journalism. It'll lead you to your broadcasting. You'll get there. It'll be there. But I was dismayed, but I had great teachers and professors. And I had one in particular at Marymount who said, listen, you're a great student, you do good work, but I can tell your heart's not here. This is what you're going to do, because I need you to pass this class, and you need this journalism, whether you know it or not. We don't have what you need here, but you need this. And he would make me come to class, and at the end of the class, he would turn off the lights and put up the shades, and the class, my classmates would ask me for requests, and I would sing.
Wow.
I would sing for at least another 10 or 20 minutes after the class. But he knew that would make me come, and that would make me vested. So I ended up getting what I needed, out of that particular journey. But then after the music came out, I would never allow them to book me at radio if they didn't let me do something. I wanted to read copy. I wanted to do the weather. I wanted to do a commercial. So I ended up getting that experience on the mic. And as Shed was saying, back in the day, we used to play music through carts. They had all these different little drawers you had to put your music in, and these big giant knobs and levers. And that's the system I learned. I learned back there with the troglodyte. So I had to.
She called y'all troglodyte. She dead wrong.
That's right. The carts. They had the carts. That's right. The cartridges. That's right.
A long time time ago. That's what I mean. But at any rate, the more experiences I had with radio and doing things, that's how I would get it, to the point where I guess a certain amount of natural ability as well. I was asked to fill in for Doug Banks many times. I was asked to fill in.
Doug Banks, wow.
I was working with Kathy Humes at some of her stations before she had Radio 1. Anytime I went to DC, she would put me on one of the shows as a co-host with the actual jocks, with the on-air personalities. Whenever we would go to do the plays, we would do the quote-unquote gospel plays, which we now call urban theater. And we would be out there on the road. And after the show, the program director would call and say, if you're here for the rest of the week, which I know you are, would you like to come back and do some more of the morning drive? Because the people have been calling. So those are the experiences. I remember before they installed Steve Harvey, they were looking at a lot of different people at BLS. And I got to do 2 or 3 weeks of morning drive with that crew, and so all of those things, it's almost like being self-taught, but just being immersed in it. I was not as fortunate as someone like you, Shayla, who went to school and got my degree in it and got my FCC, license and what have you. Perhaps it's something I'll go back for, but I'm always so thankful. Once again, Kem Webb schooled me. G. Alexander, schooled me. Vaughn Harper schooled me. Johnny Allen schooled me. I had all these great people. When I came into it, Bugsy and all those people, Jeff Fox, Lenny Green, they all welcomed me. You too, Shayla.
Jeff Fox, the rock, the box.
Lane. Y'all embraced me and said, go ahead and do what it is you can do. And one day I looked up and somebody said, would you like to have some airtime on WHCR? And I said, I had thought about it, but I didn't think I could. I didn't know who to talk to. And they said, Gene Parnell was the one who sent me over there. And so that's my home.
Wow.
I feel like the Forrest Gump of what I do, because I've had a chance to do so much, to come from a classical dance background into this disco fever, hanging out with Curtis Blow and them, and then, uptown, downtown with the music, signed to Def Jam, given an R&B contract, doing the background work, doing the rap stuff, doing the R&B stuff. My father being singing big band music from the time I was a kid, doing the radio. I've walked in a lot of spaces, and it's not. I don't take it for granted that I've had those opportunities, because it's a lot, and everybody doesn't get the opportunity to see what I've seen, and to know that there's more to be had.
Right.
So I'm Forrest Gump.
And what's so crazy? That's what makes Mad Wednesday so special, because my experiences with Allison Williams and my experiences with Melissa Morgan and Johnny Kemp and Timmy Allen, and seeing artists, and I'm always pushing the artists to be better artists. Not just to rap about what's on the corner, but rap about what's going on. How is your life affected, and how to be a better artist. And that might mean you don't have to always be on the stage. You could be behind the scenes, because people behind the scenes make a lot of money. Voiceover make a lot of money. Animation, I tell these young people, y'all have Instagram and all these different, variations of how to get your music out there. You need to be utilizing that to get your music out there and get people to see you. And you just got to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
Knocking on the door. Because when I was doing Mad Wednesdays, when I had Case and Mace and Peter Wayne and some of these unsigned artists that didn't have an opportunity to meet the Russell Simmons and the Andre Harrells, I had them at my shows, so some of these artists got little record deals,
right,
at the time. So that's what makes Mad Wednesdays so unique, because Mad Wednesdays is connected to all these. I did parties with Michael Dean and the basketball players. I had Mike Epps. I had Mike Phillips playing saxophone music with playing sax with the hip hop artists, and he never even thought about that. So thinking out the box, the way Allison is and the way Shayla is with their music and communicate. That's how I am in the village of the young people and being a showcase art. And I'm just so grateful that.
Listen, we were all
And Maria,
there.
you know, the unique thing about it is that when we were all doing what we were doing at the cellar and trying to dream our dreams, we were already in the middle of them and we didn't realize it. What it's like to know that every weekend I come to work and Timmy Allen and the whole crew, you know, we'd be there doing what we do and singing cover songs. And next thing, it took maybe about a year once Change came together, once High Fashion came together, once BB&Q came together, and then we were all at Madison Square Garden. So when you get to see that journey, you have a wealth of information to bring to young people. When I talk to young people and have an opportunity to pour into their life or to lecture or mentor, I'm always telling them, I said, look at TV, look at your video screens, whatever it is. Everything that's on there, somebody got a check to do. Somebody
That
got
is
a
correct.
check to set up the graphics. Somebody got a check to set the lighting. Somebody went somewhere and said, we're going to use this block. They scouted out the location. Somebody put those people in those particular clothes. Somebody directed those people to cross the street at that time or to stand still. Somebody wrote the words that the person says, you can have these side effects, so and so and so. So there's a job in every aspect of that, not just the person who's at the forefront of it.
Right.
Look behind the scenes, because all of those are paychecks.
Yes.
Then that's how I got into the music industry. I actually got into the music industry because I became an engineer.
Right.
I became a mixing engineer.
Exactly.
And because I was a mixing engineer, that gave me my openings to, you know, mix for everybody, really. Basically, everybody was in the industry from, you know, 89 until 2010, you know, doing hip hop. And then that's how I got my record deal also. You know what I'm saying? I got my record deal because I was an engineer, and then I made Shake What Your Mama Gave You, which, you know, Maria didn't really appreciate that song, really, tell
He
you the
brought
truth.
naked women on my stage, Shayla, and I didn't even know about it, Shayla. And
Oh, it was
and they
terrible.
was like, Rock is coming. I said, okay. My friend was like, okay. Hershey.
Yeah, Hershey.
And Hershey was like, you got to have my friend at Mad Wednesdays at the country club.
At the country club,
And I was
yeah.
like, okay. And then I saw these women parade on this, and I was getting ready to run up on the stage, and Hershey was like, Maria, please don't pull them. And they was shaking what your mama gave you. I was like, are you nuts?
And it was so crazy because, you know, Maria had just, you know, given the black woman power speech
Right,
and the
the
whole
Black
thing.
History Month speech.
Yeah, the whole thing is happening, you know, and I don't know Maria at the time, you know what I'm saying? And she doesn't know me. She knows the record. I come in and we start performing, and I'm just doing my act, you know, and then the girls, they start stripping, and Maria's looking like, what the, you know, right? And Big Cap is like, come on, Maria, let them keep going. Let them keep rocking, Maria, come on, you know. And you know how everybody gets an interview after the show? Yeah, I ain't getting no interview. Yeah, I got the cold shoulder.
What you gonna talk about? The naked women on the stage?
Exit stage left.
Yeah, I just kind of left. You know, I was like, oh, I guess I'll never be back to Mad Wednesdays again. That was done.
And we've been friends ever since.
Ever
That's
since.
the crazy
And the
part.
country
Yeah.
club was classy.
Country club. He had the classy. They had classy bras and panties on.
Yeah. I had upscale, you know.
Lingerie.
Yeah, it was nice. But
They were upscale strippers.
Maria, have you ever stopped to count how many clubs you've
Frequent.
curated?
Yes.
No, curated.
Yes.
I'm not saying frequent. You have frequented more clubs than the clubs are. But I
Yeah.
mean, in terms of when you first started your first promotion, you know, the various clubs that you have curated and had, you know, had a piece of on a say a weekly basis for a period of time.
Sweetwaters.
How many clubs?
Sweetwaters is where Shelley Brooks and Jean, especially Shelley Brooks, convinced me to start Mad Wednesdays at Sweetwaters.
Okay. But there was stuff before that.
Yes, Kilimanjaro, Terra Nova. I forgot, Allison, you was with me with all of those. She sure was. The Cellar. I keep forgetting about those little
That's
clubs.
you
that I was in.
did Club 88.
Club 88.
I forgot about that. Fat Boys. You did Fat Boys on 14th.
Sit down one day and write them down, Maria.
Because I got to go in the
Write
book.
them down.
Yeah. I could do a whole book on Mad Wednesday by itself. And then I could talk about AIDS, but then I could talk about modeling. I need to do the book because the young people keep telling me, where is your book, Miss Davis?
Yeah, because you're supposed to have one.
Yes, I am.
Right?
Yes.
Listen, if the Studio 54 guy can have a movie, so can you.
What'd you say, Allison?
Yeah.
When did you get your hair done like that? How long you been rocking that?
Oh, since I guess I'm gonna say since January
Okay,
of 2021.
I went down my first outing after my recovery, or still during the recovery, my first outing, my first get on a plane and go somewhere. I had to be the mistress of ceremonies for the National R&B Music Society, which is Vanessa Jordan, Stuart Bascom, and that whole group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was already on the books. And I said, if I felt well enough, I would go. And I thank God I did. When I was walking up to people in the lobby with my mask on and just checking in, people were going, hey, how you doing? And then they'd say something, Maria, and 2 or 3 people did it. They thought I was you. They were like, no, because of the hair. And
Yes.
I've lost a lot of weight. So I think
you look good, girl. You look good.
But they thought I was you.
I know. I just did my hair.
Like,
yeah.
What is she doing with her hair? And now I look and I see, I know what they mean now. Because if you had on a mask, and,
yes.
That's kind of funny that people thought Shayla was Allison and people thought Allison was Maria.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of me and Cheryl Lee Ralph that her fiance didn't even know who different was when we showed it to him. Before he got married, I have a picture. I mean, we had 2 headshots and we looked so much alike that her man didn't know who it was. He was confused. He was like, don't do that to me no more because I'm getting to marry her and I need to know.
I need to be able to tell who's who.
I need to know who the difference is. Thank God she was the one pulling the prank, so he didn't have to feel so bad. I said, and she knows, she's good.
Well, I guess we're going to have to get off. We could be on here all day long, but this was so
7:43.
Yeah, we did 3 hours today.
Yeah. You got come on, you got Shayla. You got
that was the best.
But I do want people. Deirdre, are you still there? You want to say something to Allison? We have some people on there.
Unmute Deidre.
She might have left and went in the kitchen.
I fell asleep.
She might have fell asleep or made herself something to eat.
Today I'm up.
Oh, she said today I'm up. Oh, she's there. Oh, she's there.
Hey, Alley Cat.
Hi, baby. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So good to see you.
And thank you, sweetheart, for all your prayers and love.
Absolutely. Always. So good to see you.
Who else? Anybody else want to unmute? I don't know who else is out there.
Murtho Fiate. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Murtho was on?
Said, love you, Shayla. Love you, Allison. Hi, Maria. It's Murtho.
Oh, Murtho. And I didn't even get to send her. Shayla must have sent her the link.
Carla Lee. Thank you for inviting her.
Yeah. So we hate to go. There I go, there I go, there I
Frankie
go.
Crocker, baby.
Oh, God.
Allison, why don't we go first? Mad Wednesdays, April 20th at the Shrine. Then we have my day party on April 24th. We also have the weekend with Allison Williams up in Albany. And
AIDS Walk,
New York, Sunday, May 15th. And my fundraiser will be on April 24th. And what else? Next Monday, Can't Be Silenced podcast. We'll be featuring the artists that'll perform.
That's right.
On April 20th. Yes,
Mad
next week.
Wednesday.
That's coming up, isn't it?
Mad Wednesday. And this is Holy Week. So we should all take a moment.
Right.
We should all
Easter.
Forget Easter.
Did you watch the 10
Good Friday?
Commandments?
No, honey, our story is the 10 Commandments. No, for real. When you think about what the 10 Commandments was and who was sitting at that table, they were all people that have been through things in life because Jesus walked with the motley crew. He didn't walk with perfect people because of God. Jesus walked with perfect people, then what hope will we have?
Right.
But Jesus walked with people like Allison and Maria and Shayla and Deneen and you and all of us that have had challenge. Right. So we all are part of the supper table. And our stories contribute to the supper table. But we all know that the one thread at the supper table was Jesus, and we know we need him. We know we need God.
Amen.
And so this is what Holy Week is about. It's not about what religious background you are about. It's about, do you believe? Do you believe? And do you have faith in what God has ordained and the mission that God has commanded us to do? Shayla is on her mission. Allison has a new mission. She had a mission, but now she's been redirected.
It's
amplified. It's amplified. Mine hasn't been amplified through my illness. But the great thing about God is, but God. That's all you could say, but God. That's what
Amen.
Smokey Norfolk said, but God. And so
God.
I would like, I don't know if Allison could do this, but could you end us off, Allison, with maybe a little melody or something?
Oh, you see, you.
She didn't put you
I
on.
thought I was gonna get out.
Whatever you feel like. If you want to say yes,
I'm trying to
Jesus
think of
loves
what-
me.
what
You know
I
when they
feel,
clear
what
their
I
throat,
feel.
they getting ready to blow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I immediately, when you mixed the 10 Commandments with the Last Supper, I was laughing at first. But I knew
She had the whole thing going.
I can't find anything with a faith-based theme. That's God saying, Steve, you shouldn't have laughed.
Listen. You singing is a theme right there, honey. Because
But when you said the 10 Commandments at the table, at the supper table.
At the table, because Jesus walked with the Motley Crew. I was like, what happened to Moses? I was like,
Moses was a part of the Motley Crew. Moses didn't believe neither.
Okay.
And Abraham, people think that the people that were sitting at the table, they were not believers. That's why Abraham became Abram.
Right.
See, people don't know the whole Bible. So that's why Sarah became Sarai, because they laughed when God told them that they were going to have a baby.
Right.
They were not people that were easy. Jesus didn't go up to them and say, listen, this is what Moses had to go to God and say, listen, these people's acting a fool down here. He didn't believe in himself. He stuttered.
Right.
So this is what I'm saying. People think when they say the Last Supper, all these great individuals were sitting at, they were great individuals because they all participated and they all gave to the community of the supper. And I'm a part of the supper.
And I am too.
Yes.
All right.
I am too. Okay, you guys. So this is what I'll do. Sometimes you just got to go with what you know. And I've always loved this song because it not only speaks, every love song is not just a song that deals with the love between a man and a woman, or your girlfriend and your boyfriend, or whatever it is your relationship is composed of, or your boo or whatever. But it is, the people who are around you, the mothers and fathers, the cousins, the best friends, your neighbors upstairs and downstairs are on your block. And we all like to think that at some point, if we need, that there's someone we can call on. And we also like to think that if someone needs us, they can call on us. And one thing we should all believe and trust and know is that when we need anything, we can call on God. Ever had a love that you could call on when you were in trouble? Ever had a love who comes to you on the double? There's no need to look no further. I'm waiting here for you. Just call my name and I'll come running. Just call his name and he'll come running.
Wow. Now that song has a whole new life.
No, let me tell you.
That's a whole new life. That's a whole new life.
If you think about those lyrics, that's just how God feels about us.
Yes.
If we need something, if we never have to fear, if we don't have to, that he won't have time for us, all you have to do is, not that you would snap your fingers at God, but all you have to do is just in the twinkling of an eye, think about him, and he's right there. His spirit it will envelop you. So just call my name has always been that for me. And so I hope that touched somebody in that way.
Yeah, wow.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Shayla. Yes.
I sent you a text, Shayla. Did you get it? Look at your phone. I just want to make sure that I'm okay. I just want to make sure I always have your info.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk to Lace Elliott about getting Shayla and Allison hooked up in OSG too, because they would definitely be, as well as a good connect with OSG, but they will be a good connect for OSG too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Thank you. I love you, ladies.
And I want to thank you guys. And
reminding.
I'm sorry if I groupied out a little bit on you. You know what I'm saying? But Shayla, I've been listening to you, forever, and so I groupied out on you. I wanted to know all about the radio.
Yes.
And then Allison, you just blew my mind with all the records that I've been playing that I had no idea you even did choruses on. So, touche. It was good. It was wonderful meeting both of you ladies. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I love you. I love you, and God bless you. And please continue to listen. Allison is definitely a listener. Hopefully, I gain your listening to Shayla, and I hope we did a good job. I hope I did a good job as well as you do.
You did. I'm very impressed.
Please make sure you guys subscribe to Groovy Track on YouTube so you can get subscriptions to the shows that we do at Boardwalk Global Media.
And go to my website, cantbesilenced.org, and I'll have my information up there if you'd like to make a donation for the AIDS walk
coming up, right?
And that's coming up.
Where are you starting? Where does the walk start?
In Central Park.
And then goes where?
6.2.
No, there's other people listening now.
Yeah, they know where. Deirdre know where we go. We go up. We start at 79th Street. We go up to 110th, go across to Riverside Drive, back to 79th Street, and then we walk back into the park.
Okay.
And so this is the first time the AIDS walk has not been on for 2 years. So some people still don't feel comfortable walking, but I'm going to be out there walking. So it's virtual also, but I'll be out there walking.
All right. And with that, we're going to punch out?
Yes, we're going to punch out.
All right, I'll see y'all.
Thank you.